47 lakh voters, 45 to 47 lakh voters increased between the elections that happened in April to the elections that happened in October, November. That is one. Were 47 lakh people born 18 years ago? Did we have a population boom?
The Election Commission has a justification for it.
No, so they should.
Your point.
Yeah.
I'll come to that, yeah.
The last hour of voting, which is 5 o'clock onwards, almost 70 lakh plus voters have voted in that. And three, when we are voting on EVMs, right? We're voting on EVMs because it's digital. We're voting on EVMs because we save time in sealing the machines and counting the votes. The Election Commission has given us revised figures over the next 3 days amounting to a revision of 12.5%. So you're saying that after the voting ballot has been sealed, you can still revise it by 12.5%. That's 1/3 of the entire votes.
No.
So,
on the
so
41.
our point is basically this, that if you have data which is saying we are wrong, if you're saying that, okay, you are wrong, you are sore losers, and you don't have the right data, which we have taken from the Election Commission's website, come in front of us, come in front of Mr. Gandhi or the Congress or whoever from us is raising the issue and debate it. You can be the person hosting the debate.
No, but
happy to do that.
Tell me, on that addition of, it is 41 lakh voters between January and October of 2024. The Election Commission says there is no aberration in it, there is no abnormality in it, because the same number was seen in 2014
The same Election Commission has stolen our party name and given it to Eknath Shinde. The same Election Commission has stolen our bow and arrow and given it to Eknath Shinde.
No, but that's a separate matter.
No. All I'm saying is, how can the Election Commission be neutral today?
No. So tell me, on this 41 lakh voters that you're alleging,
yeah,
you're saying it's an abnormal
yes,
number.
These 41 lakh voters were increased only in 118 seats. And funnily enough, 99 seats have been won by the Mahayuti.
No, but how do you know that all of these 41 lakh voters voted for the BJP?
So that is what the point is now. We're going to the depth of it. But it cannot be a coincidence that only 118 seats see the spike and 99 seats out of that, the BJP is winning. So somewhere there's a connection for sure. And chalo, if these extra voters are not of the BJP and they're voting for us, it's even more incentive for the Election Commission to get rid of them.
So in Maharashtra, the problem was additional voters. Now in Bihar, the opposition is saying
reduction of voters.
Deletion of
because
voters.
यहाँ addition में पकड़े गए, अभी वहाँ reduction चल रहा है.
No, so it's
simplest thing would be
the voter will turn around and say, make up your mind. No, is addition a problem or subtraction a problem?
No, the Election Commission should make up its mind whether addition is helping the BJP or subtraction is helping the BJP. Because we are catching the Election Commission on every foot.
So you have a problem with the extra addition of voters in Maharashtra, and you have a problem with the deletion of voters.
We have a problem with fake voters. We have a problem with bogus voters. We have a problem with booth capturing. We have a problem with electoral malpractices, which is being promoted actively by the Election Commission by shielding these people.
So an exercise like the SIR, which is happening in Bihar, is to tackle exactly what you're saying. Great.
So are you telling me that the Bihar Lok Sabha elections that happened with all these additional voters was all bad, and should the Bihar Lok Sabha go for polls again?
Okay.
इन्होंने तो वोटिंग की है ना बिहार के लोकसभा में. And कभी ना कभी तो, see, tell me today, when you look at someone who's born before 2003, where will you get your birth certificate from? Where will you get your documents from? Give them a chance to at least appeal.
So now I want to come back to Maharashtra, and because you've also backed Rahul Gandhi's claims. Section 31 of the Representation of People's Act is very clear. If you have a grave allegation to be made against the Election Commission, it has to be given sworn under oath before a court of law or before the Election Commission.
The other day, where were the MPs going? They were put in the bus saying we're taking you to the Election Commission, and they were taken to the police station. 300 MPs were taken to the police station.
So they didn't have permission to
No. What is permission? Election Commission is supposed to meet us. Who are they serving? Are they serving the BJP or serving the elected representatives?
Surely they can't meet 300 MPs at the same time.
No. Tell me something. If the Election Commission doesn't have time for elected members of parliament, 300 elected members of parliament, what are they doing? Playing rummy in the office?
Well, we know of people who are playing rummy in the office, but anyway, that's...
And now they've got the right department now.
No, that we'll have another conversation on that. But
it's absurd. It's absurd to think that the Election Commission doesn't have time for the members of parliament.
I want to come...
Are they above the parliament?
I want to come to another issue which Poonam referred to when she started off our...
Sorry, I'll also interrupt you on this. If you've followed this case of SIR, the Election Commission has submitted to the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, that we won't give you the data.
That they are not bound by law to give the data.
So then what is this rule of Section 31 then?
So they are not bound by law, but you are bound by law if you make an allegation.
Exactly.
I want to come to Maharashtra, and this, what we have seen over the last few months is a bit of a concerning spike in the instance of violence against those who don't speak Marathi. You have said, and I quote, you don't want anybody to take the law into their hands, but when it's the other way around and Marathi or Maharashtra is insulted, then things can escalate. Are you at somewhere sort of justifying or giving a license to your supporters
I'll
to
tell you what, one
attack
second.
people
In
if they
this
don't
also,
speak
I'm very,
Marathi?
very clear. This whole case of language issue, let me make it very clear because today we are speaking in English. I'm also interrupting you in Hindi. We're not against any language, first and foremost. We've always been a state that has accepted lakhs of people from across India. They come here with dreams. They come here to be big. Mumbai has been a city of dreams, and we've seen people becoming bigger. We also have the biggest Hindi film industry in the world from here, from Mumbai. And people have come here, chief ministers have come here, tried to take them to their own states, but no one has moved from here. This is our credit, because this city has always identified itself as a city that lives up to the dreams, and this is the Indian dream, like you have cities in the American dream. Having said that, this is also the capital of Maharashtra. What we are saying here, and why this language issue propped up, is because the BJP government sitting in the state today, because of vote chori or whatever, said that the third language, which is Hindi, will be imposed on kids from standard 1 in schools. What we, be it Shiv Sena, UBT, be it MNS, be it the Marathi Ekikaran Samiti, be it a lot of other parties, came together on, is saying we already have a third language in the 5th standard. Why do you want to impose the third language in the 1st standard? How much more burden will you put on the kids? It roll-balled into a controversy, and of course we had to come out on the streets and say, look, whatever's going on, even today the BMC has 3.5 lakh kids studying in 8 languages, in 8 different mediums of learning, which is Marathi, English, semi-English, Hindi, Urdu, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. We've introduced technology as a language now. But all of this going on, why do you want to disturb the peace here? Two, when you speak about the 1 or 2 incidents that happened, these were sporadic incidents. Let me tell you, this is not something that has been planned by a party and saying, okay, chalo, isko peette, aise karte.
You don't think there's a pattern in the violence?
These are sporadic incidents. And these happen, see, today, if you go on a railway station and start running behind someone saying, chor, 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 you'll have 10 other people catching him and thrashing him there. These incidents happen across India. You could see it in some yatras right now. You could see a CISF Jawan beaten up by someone. All of these things happen, which is wrong. I'm not justifying them. What we demand and what we expect is simple, that when you come to our state, just like when I come to your state, you respect my local culture, you respect my local language, you respect my state. As simple as that. The escalation part that I said is, if you start insulting my language, if you start insulting my local culture, if you start insulting my local heroes, if you start insulting my state, someone might lose it and a sporadic incident might happen, which is beyond anyone's control.
But
I'm not justifying any incident, right? Now,
But
compare this to the mob lynchings that happen. Compare this to this whole caravan of Gaurakshaks that happen. Is anyone showing that?
No, we're all showing it. It's not like we're
my
hiding
point
that.
is, our point is simple, that we all respect all religions, we respect all cultures, we respect all languages, just don't disrespect mine.
No, but
Simple
tell
as
me,
that.
if you are saying that these are sporadic, there is no pattern, why are the people who are perpetrating this violence either from your party or from the MNS?
Because if you feel for your state, you will.
So other parties don't feel for the state?
Maybe the BJP doesn't feel for it. Maybe the BJP is placing someone to instigate you in the face of elections.
So you're saying BJP is instigating these people to
Could be.
say that they won't speak
Could be.
Marathi.
If the BJP is behind different issues around the country, it could be doing this as well. How do we know?
No, so I want to come to the larger issue of language, because leave alone the violence. I mean, that's very, very unfortunate, and there's no
Yes,
place
and
for...
like I said, it's a very sporadic incident. It's a reaction. And you cannot control that.
But even if it is a reaction to perceived insult, I don't think violence is justified. But anyway, I want to come to the larger issue, because as per the 2011 census, 68.9% of Maharashtra population declared Marathi as their language, the first language, the language that they speak. That means that over 31% of the state's population still does not speak Marathi. Also, around 21 lakh Marathi speakers live in Madhya Pradesh. Over 12 lakh live in Gujarat. Now, despite living in these other states, they have declared, as per 2011 census, they have declared Marathi as their first language. If these states start taking objection to the fact that there are Marathi speakers and they're not speaking the local language, would you condone that?
I'll give you a simple example. Forget how many people live in Madhya Pradesh or even Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Gujarat from Marathi. who are speaking Marathi as their first language. Just count how many people who are living here for years and years. The Shiv Sena has existed almost for 6 decades now. See how many people have come here and thrived, as against these 1 or 2 incidents which have propped up.
No, but
Have you never lived in Mumbai?
no, I've never lived in Mumbai, but
You roam around in Mumbai, right? You can speak in whatever language someone else speaks. And tell me something, how will these populations in Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh or Karnataka, where you have Marathi populations in pockets, respond if these Marathi populations insult the local language? I don't think any single person has said, "Main hechat nahi bolnar, tumhi maji bhasha bola." We adapt. Anywhere around the world, you adapt. And the point is this, we're not saying don't speak a language. We're not saying don't speak Hindi or don't speak English or don't speak French or don't speak Odia or don't speak, German. We're just saying don't disrespect our state.
But the BJP is saying this is timed suddenly to the BMC elections. We were not having these kind of attacks last year or the year before that or the year before
The BJP can say all of this on the Kapil Sharma show and people will laugh it off because it's coming from them. But to say this on a serious forum is actually a joke from the BJP because the BJP instigates all of this.
I want to come to some national issues. We had the unfortunate Pahalgam terror attack that happened in April. In response, there was the Operation Sindoor. You had at one point in the last few months asked this question, and I want to quote, "Truth should come out how these terrorists behind the Pahalgam terror attack came there. Have they been caught? Where are they? Have they entered the BJP?" Now they've been caught. They've been neutralized. Will you take back these words?
Is it official? Because the other day there was a contradiction on that.
It was said by the Home Minister on the floor of Parliament.
There's been a lot of sayings by the Home Minister on the floor of the House. I don't think that's to be considered as seriously. But the most important part is, chalo, for a minute, let's consider that these were the same people. Because they should have first of all not come in. The Home Minister should also answer. Him being the Home Minister, how did these guys enter? How they went on a rampage? How did they massacre so many people? And how did they have so much time to go and speak to people saying, "Inko batao, unko batao, aapki dharam kya, aapki jaat kya?" ये पूछने का वक्त कैसे मिला? आए कैसे पहले ये failure है उसका जवाब दीजिए. And 2, now that we are telling the world, we sent out delegations of parliamentarians to the world. I think now the armed forces also speaking up, which is saying that this happened from Pakistan and they were backed by China. What exactly is our foreign policy? Because now the government should also answer. First, as I said, how did these guys come in? How did these terrorists and rogue rascals come in? Why were they not shot? Secondly, if they've massacred and finally been shot also, and we know that they're from Pakistan, why is the BCCI going and playing cricket with Pakistan?
No, these are perfectly valid questions.
I'll tell you what.
But
the second question is, if the government is saying that China was behind Pakistan, and I think someone from the armed forces also said that, why is the Prime Minister going to China? And 3, the same cycle happened last year when we were told here by a lot of media persons and social media handles that Hindus in Bangladesh are being attacked. Why did the BCCI at the same time invite Bangladesh for a bilateral test series in India?
No, these
Is the BCCI above Hindus? Is the BCCI above the sacrifice of our soldiers? Is the BCCI above national interest?
These are all valid questions, but
And I will not take back my words because you have seen that the failure of the government of India, the union government, in controlling terrorist attacks right from 2014 to now.
So you still don't believe that the 3 people who were killed in the
they
encounter
could be.
and announced by the Home Minister
They could be. I'm
on
happy if
Parliament
they were,
are the ones who perpetrated
I'm happy if
Pahalgam?
they were killed, but they should have been killed while entering my country.
Okay. You have been saying for a long time you've been attacking the Shinde Sena, the BJP for ideological compromise. You've compromised on your ideology.
Never.
You
Never.
have allied with parties that you said
Never.
you will never ally with. Would Bala Saheb
second.
Thackeray have allied with the Congress ever in his lifetime?
I'll tell you what, when my grandfather was alive, back then, he had supported Mrs. Gandhi in her most crucial times. 2, there has also been an instance here where Mr. Devra has become the mayor because of Shiv Sena support and he was in the Congress. 3, Ms. Pratibha Patil and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee were openly backed by my grandfather and the party, even though we were in the NDA, because we thought that this was the better choice to make. 4, we went with the Congress and the UPA because the BJP betrayed on the promises that they had made to us, which is now a habitual offender. They've become a habitual offender on this. And 5, and the most important thing, we've never given up on our principles. Even with the Congress, even today, we speak up on Hindutva when we have to. In fact, we were the only party for a long time who went to Ayodhya and told the BJP, "Pehle mandir fir sarkar," when the BJP had forgotten about it. We went twice in 2018. After that, in 2019, when we formed the government with the Congress, we still went to the Ram Mandir when it wasn't made. And then the last event was in June 2022. So we've never given up on our principles. In fact, it's the BJP that's been giving up on the principles. What about the Varanasi corridor and the thousands of temples it's demolished? What about the Mumbai Devi temple, which is basically where we draw our name Mumbai from, but now it's under the danger of becoming a corridor, and thousands of traders and pujaris around will be resettled because of the BJP government. It's the BJP that's giving up on the principles. Who sat with the PDP in Kashmir when the BJP wanted to sit in power desperately in Kashmir?
So since you talked about ideological compromises, joining hands with your uncle and his party, is that not an ideological
I think the bigger ideological compromise is for the BJP and the Prime Minister to go and cut Nawaz Sharif's cake in Pakistan. The bigger ideological compromise is to go and play cricket with Pakistan when they're having attacks in my country. The bigger ideological compromise is to bring in Bangladesh into my country to play test series when Hindus in Bangladesh are being attacked.
Okay.
To send 50,000 tons of rice when Hindus in Bangladesh are being attacked. That is a bigger ideological compromise that we're not willing to make.
I want to come to the BMC, because this town hall is about the BMC and we're talking about the upcoming BMC elections. You are at the forefront of protesting against the metro shed in RA, and now you have the latest line that has been opened. Do you regret, using environmentalism to slow down infrastructure projects?
Not at all. Let me tell you, the lines 2A and 2 and 7A, which someone tweeted the other day saying, "Oh, these are running successfully. They're not getting as much crowd, but anyway, were inaugurated by us." Metro Line 1 was inaugurated by the Congress. Metro Line 3, which was inaugurated recently, 17 days after the inauguration, you had an entire wall collapse and the station flood up, and the line had to be stopped in monsoons. Again, the Metro Line 3, what we were doing would have saved 10,000 crores of the exchequer of the state government. We were only against the car shed, which is a forest even today. We never stopped the line, and the line work has been going on even in our times and even today.
No, but the line would not have been completed.
It's impractical to say a tunnel digging project in Mumbai will be finished in 2 years. It's a joke. I can vouch for that.
No, but had you insisted on the shed being moved from there, and had that gone through, the line would not have been opened.
100% would have been opened. I can show it to you on a map right now. Give me a sketch pen and a white paper. I'll show you what was the connectivity. Line 3, 6, 4 and 14 would have come together in Kanjurmarg, connecting the entire MMR. 4 crore people of MMR would have come to one point. A car shed is used once in 3 months by the car or the bogies of the rail, of the metro rail, for cleaning and maintenance. You don't need it for everyday purposes. The line work was never stopped. The line work was going on even in our times and before that and after that.
But when you are projected as holding back infrastructure,
who's projecting
that Mumbai is crying
I'll
out
give
loud
you 2
for.
examples.
Crying out loud for.
I'll tell you what. Worli, the Coastal Road project was our project, initiated by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray in 2013, delayed by Eknath Shinde for political purposes for a year and a half. It would have been finished in December 2023 had we been in government.
When it was inaugurated, you took credit for it.
Two, the Atal Setu, the MTHL, the Navasheva connector, when our government was stopped it was complete 82%. It's taken them 2.5 years to complete the rest. The Worli-Shudi connector, when we were in government, we started it in January 2021. We'd finished 48% of the work by June 2022. Now, only 10% of the work has been completed over the next 3 years. Who's slowing down the projects of infrastructure?
No, but you may have...
Nariman Point Cuff Parade connector was initiated by us. It's not taken a single brick into its belly right now. The Mud Island Bridge, who's doing this?
You may have initiated these projects, but it's being inaugurated under the BJP. Whether it's Coastal Road, whether it's Atal Setu or...
Of course, even the Atal Tunnel in Kashmir started off by Mr. Manmohan Singh, inaugurated by the current Prime Minister. It's their habit to do so. काम कोई और करे, दिखावा कोई और करे, तो बीजेपी की पुरानी आदत है.
So tell me, if all of this infrastructure is happening, Coastal Road is happening, Sea-Link is happening, why are you then opposed to...
The problem is the quality.
What's wrong with the quality of...
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go for a drive on the Hindu Rajya Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray Samruddhi Mahamarg from Mumbai to Nagpur. That is one of the reasons Mr. Eknath Shinde had to run away, because of the cost escalations and whatever he's earned. But show me one patch of 1 kilometer that's actually flat and worthy of being an international road. I'll take you to the Coastal Road, because the road servicing was done in their time. Go in the tunnel at a slower speed. You'll think you're sitting in a speedboat.
It's under the sea, Aditya. Come on.
No, it's not. It's not under the sea. It's under the. That is again a false thing they had put out, and they had to correct that, because it's under Malabar Hill. It's not under sea.
Yeah,
I have worked on that project every week. I've gone there every day. They cannot counter me on this. I can sit here without any papers and sit with the entire department and counter them
Are you
alone.
saying that the coastal road is not a world-class project?
Today, with the road surfacing scan that they've done on that coastal road, it is in shambles. If we had completed that project by 2023, it would have been world class.
Okay.
See, I'll tell you what, the road scam today, go on Western Express Highway. Mr. Eknath Shinde's government has spent 6,080 crores, giving it to 5 favorite contractors, the whole city. Show me one road today that is not in shambles. They've completed 5% of the work. They're claiming 26% of the work. I've said this from day one, that the BJP Minde government is a scam.
And yet, why are people associating the BJP with finishing these big-ticket infrastructure
It's only the media houses that are getting adverts who are associating them, not anybody else.
People of Mumbai are not.
And of course the fake voters.
What would your pitch,
Fake news and fake voters
What
do that,
would be-
not anyone else.
what would your pitch be? These are real voters sitting in front of you. What would your pitch
I'm not saying
be?
they're fake. They're voting for us.
Yeah. What would your pitch be to them to vote for the Sena UBT after the sorry for using this language, but you got berated in the assembly elections.
चलो देखते हैं ना असली वोटर के साथ खेलते हैं.
Okay.
चुनाव आयोग को न्यूट्रल बनने दो खेलते हैं.
So BMC is the asli election, asli chunav.
I am saying we will wait for the BMC. First, let them declare the BMC. They've been scared to hold it for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And by the way, for Mumbai, the results in the Lok Sabha were 4-2. The 5th seat, they've stolen by 47 votes. Even in the Vidhan Sabha, we won 10 seats out of 36. The Alliance has won 14 seats out of 36. So the BJP has also been berated here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Aditya Thackeray from the Shiv Sena UBT. Can we have a round of applause? Aditya, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
at CNN-News18 Town Hall.
Thank you so much for that, Aditya Thackeray there, ladies and gentlemen. Our big round of applause. It was one of those engaging conversations that Mumbai needed. It's also one of the engaging conversations that India needed. We're talking about allegations of voter theft. Maharashtra was one such example that the opposition uses. But we are going to be talking about Mumbai. We are going to be talking about Maharashtra. And I request everyone to please stay on because our evening has just begun. Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, is soon going to be here. There is going to be an enlightening conversation that follows much after that as well. Like I said, the evening has just about begun. We are talking about what Mumbai really needs. So we could take some of your questions that we would like our next guests to answer. So I'm going to request one of my colleagues if they can pass the mic around, and anyone who has a question that you would like asked to any of our next guests, including the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, if you could just put your hand up, please, and one of my colleagues will just come around. We'll come to you, sir. Just a second. Yes, please.
Hello, I want to ask a question to Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. As a being Maharashtrian, I would ask him, like, what are the initiative you would take to preserve Marathi culture in Mumbai's multi-cultural environment?
Sure, we'll take that question to the Chief Minister when he arrives. We had another hand going up there. Yes, sir. Mike. Yes.
My question to the CM is
If you could just take the mic a little towards you, sir. Yes, thank
the
you.
entire opposition is blaming BJP for answering on behalf of Election Commission. Okay, so what exactly is the BJP's role and why it is scared to answer their allegations?
We tried to ask that question to Aditya Thackeray, who is here, but we'll try and put that question
I wanted to ask him only.
to the Chief Minister as well. We'll try and get you those answers from our other panelists too, but I see another hand up going there.
Hi, this is Dr. Basuki Jha from ABVP Mumbai. My question to Devendra Fadnavis ji is, many slum rehab projects stall for years, leaving residents in limbo. Will you publish a quarterly online status report for every SRA project? And the follow-up question will be, will you commit to a law penalizing developers who delay beyond the agreed timeline? Thank you.
So we'll put that question to the Chief Minister when he's here, and that's going to be in just a few minutes from now. We are, of course, waiting for the Chief Minister, but we are going to be having an engaging conversation with several prominent Mumbaikars as well, because we're talking about Maharashtra, yes, but we're also talking about Mumbai. The BMC elections, which is the civic body elections, the richest civic body in the country. They haven't had elections for a long time now. It's been delayed. Why has that happened? What is going to happen next? We'll try and get you those answers as well. Any more questions, please? Yes. Just a second. We'll get the mic to you. Ma'am? Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. So I would have a question to understand what are the initiatives that we can do for traffic congestions.
So traffic is a big issue. So I myself used to be a Mumbaikar.
Yeah.
I live in Delhi for about 6 years now, but I can see the difference. And that is a question we would want to ask.
So even today when I had to come from Andheri to Worli, it literally took me 2 hours to travel. So
And monsoons, I'm sure, make it much worse.
it's hardly raining in Mumbai for last any month. So this is a question I'd like to address.
Yes, that's a question we'd like to put as well. Any more questions, please? Yes.
Hi, this is Akshat Chaudhary from NMIMS School of Business Management.
Hi.
So, as we are aware that Mumbai has country's some of the best institutes for management, engineering, hotel management, etc. But every year we produce so many graduates, but we lose out them. They go to Bangalore, or they go abroad. So, what can the Chief Minister do to ensure that we retain these talents in Mumbai?
Sure, that's a challenge, but I don't think Mumbai is quite losing out. I'd still like to believe that there are many such educational institutions here that many people do want to come to. But that is a question we'll put to
No, I mean the graduates. Once they get out of the institute, for the jobs, they go to Bangalore,
Sure.
Pune, Delhi, or they move abroad.
Oh, okay. So your question is that why is it that most people don't stay in Maharashtra for earning a living and just studying? Sure, we'll take that to the Chief Minister. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Maharashtra has the second highest student suicide rates in India. So there can be a serious question about the student suicides. And there can be another question on BMC's environment status report, which says about the Deonar dump yard. So what are the government planning about resolving the issues of pollution and student suicides in Maharashtra? Thank you.
Suicide rates is also something that we will talk about. It's often something that we talk about when we speak of farmers, especially in the Vidarbha Marathwada region. But it looks like that unfortunately, that trend is also spilling over to many other, including students, including midlife professionals as well. Why is that? Is mental health not something that we concentrate on enough, not speak about enough? That's something that we'll also try and address. Any more questions from the audience here? Yes, we'll just bring the mic to you.
So I had a question about, as Thackeray sir mentioned about if the coastal road project was under us, we would have given a world-class output. So as me and one of my classmates were doing an assignment near Prabha Devi station, there is a monorail, I think. So when we were crossing the place, when few stones dropped on us, so I got very scared. And I asked and clarified with one of my friend who is localite of Thane. She said that monorail was implemented here before BJP came in power here. So I wanted to ask that if BJP is right now under control, how things can get improved? Because as a civilian and as a journalist student, as we are traveling here and there, it is a very huge concern for our safety and even other people's safety, because children were also playing there with and cycling also. So I wanted to ask if they weren't able to implement the world-class imposition, then how BJP is going to implement? Because at least the coastal bridges, they are standing up. So that's my question. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but yeah.
Sure, we'll try and put that question to the Chief Minister. Yes, I see another hand going up there. If we could please pass the mic along.
Hi, my name is Anshul. I'm a CA by profession. My question to the Chief Minister, and for that matter, any representative for the BMC election is this. As per animal birth control rules issued under the Prevention of Animal Cruelty Act, all municipal bodies, including BMCs, under obligation to sterilize, immunize and re-release stray dogs in their local neighborhood, which is the stated law. But in light of the recent Supreme Court judgment, which has taken a contrarian view, my question to the representatives is that what has been the track record of BMC on the treatment and control of stray dogs, and going forward in the wake of the Supreme Court judgment, what is the forward strategy?
And it definitely is a debate that has been kicked up, because we're talking about not just the Supreme Court, we had the Madras High Court today as well come out with a similar verdict. Stray dogs is something that seems to divide society quite on two sides of the very spectrum. We don't really see sort of a middle ground. There are many who say that it's a menace. There are others who say that they should be treated more humanely. There is no really middle ground, which seems to be the problem as far as authorities taking action is concerned. But ma'am, you had a question as well.
So a lot of redevelopment, I'm chartered accountant, my name is Deepika Jain. So there's a lot of redevelopment going around in the entire part of Andheri, Villeparle, etc. And most of the builders are not following the norms of, they're not keeping the environment clean around them, and they're not following the norms of redevelopment of the buildings. So, civic authorities are not taking any actions also. So what can be done around that?
So that's a question we'd like to ask as well, also because it seems that many of these issues stem from the fact that BMC elections haven't happened. There seems to be in a limbo as far as Mumbai's civic body goes. Do we feel that maybe that really is the issue? If we have someone accountable, if we have one particular party at the helm, then maybe that issue would be resolved, and many of those issues that have been raised would be resolved?
Probably.
Sure. So we'll try and put that question to the Chief Minister as well. Any more questions from the audience? Yeah.
You can take second.
Yes.
You can take the second.
Ma'am, go ahead, please.
Hello, this is Shivangi Shukla, and I'm a former journalism student. And my question for CM will be, despite hundreds of crores spent annually on storm water, drains and distilling, Mumbai still floods every monsoon. When we will see a measurable or time-bound roadmap to make Mumbai flood resilient? When is the time when Mumbai is going to be resilient despite of spending hundreds of crores every year?
But do we feel that the situation has improved over the last few years?
We just saw a metro line flooding after being just made. So I think we haven't seen any improvement yet.
Sure. So there's a lot of development that's taking place, but we don't know if it's the right way in which it's taking place, maybe perhaps, which is why we're facing these kind of issues. We'll try and put that question to our next guest as well. Any more questions? Yes. Can we pass the mic along there, please?
Hi, my name is Sakshi. I would like to ask Mr. Devendra Fadnavis on what are some of the plans when it comes to women specifically of Maharashtra, be it related to skill development, education, better healthcare access. In general, what is the plan, or what are some of the initiatives that the government is planning when it comes to women?
Sure. So women-specific questions will be put to the Chief Minister as well. We were hoping to have the Women and Child Development Minister today as well. Unfortunately, there has been a last-minute engagement that Aditi Tatkare had to get involved in. Before I take any more questions from the audience, and as we wait for the Chief Minister, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, we do want to take you through a journey of what CNN-News18 has been like, the very platform, the town hall of which you are all attending. We do want to take you through what it is like to be behind India's #1 news channel, what goes in it. We'll try and take you through that journey before we take this forward.
Want to know what's the best way to grow? Let's go. Go farther. So far ahead that the competition can't spot you, let alone catch you. And grow your audience's insight. Because stocks may go up or down, but knowledge is invaluable. Go. Assemble the A-team, the ones who reach the top, and then keep going. Go into uncharted territories. Blur the lines between media and technology. And watch as you make wealth grow. Go. Build partnerships with the very best. and grow your voice, because the world needs India's perspective more than ever. Go into India's heartland. Speak her languages. Tell her stories. Grow her ambitions. Go. Make a difference. Create a platform for policymakers, trendsetters, and change makers. Because the only way to grow is to grow together. We are Network 18, and we are always on the go. Enabling India to grow.
All right, so we're doing this for the third year.
Don't think anyone's ever achieved this before.
And we're on top all the time, no breaks.
No, this is not clear. But one thing is clear, and let's get this straight. CNN-News18 is the #1 English news channel for 3 years running.
Because in a world that is experiencing groundbreaking shifts,
we keep our eye on the ball and the whole world.
Pursuing the facts.
Making sense of them.
And cutting through the confusion to offer clarity.
Because when we chase the news, we are
authentic,
credible,
objective.
CNN News 18, the undisputed leader of English news for 3 whole years and counting.
And there you have it, Shri Devendra Fadnavis. A round of applause from the audience, please. Now, he's a leader that needs no introduction, a dynamic one, a seasoned administrator. He's a reform-driven thinker. From being the second youngest chief minister in Maharashtra in 2014 to making a political comeback like no other in 2024. He continues to be one of the most influential voices in Maharashtra's politics as he leads the state and a coalition that dreams to take Maharashtra to greater heights. This is the story of the state's favorite son, Deva Bhau.
A year is a long time in politics, they say, and none would know it better than Devendra Fadnavis. In the year gone by, the favorite son of Maharashtra has seen it all. The lows of the Lok Sabha results, the historic highs of a sweeping mandate in the assembly polls, a record in itself. BJP coming to power with over 200 seats on its own. And through it all, the astute administrator has redefined benchmarks in Maharashtra politics. Devendra Fadnavis is a man on a mission, a leader who is tirelessly scripting a transformative story in Maharashtra like never before.
Me, Devendra Sarita Gangadharrao Fadnavis, ईश्वर साक्ष शपथ देते कि
A proud Maharashtrian to the core, his measured and unequivocal stance on the politics of language pride and violence in the name of language told the whole country that his politics will never compromise on BJP's core ethos of nationalism and putting Bharat first. Devendra Fadnavis is not a man who is deterred by adversity. In fact, he thrives on it. He famously said on the floor of the Maharashtra Assembly during a particularly turbulent time in his political career, "Main samundar hoon, laut kar aaunga." He is not only back, he is here to stay and rise.
Please welcome the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra Fadnavis, in conversation with Anand Narasimhan. Please keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen.
Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, and Devendra Fadnavis ji, thank you very, very much for gracing this stage, that is the CNN-News18 Town Hall. आप जब भी यहाँ आते हैं कुछ यादगार होता है.
आज भी यादगार ही होगा.
मेरा पहला प्रश्न कि मुंबई को शंघाई बना रहे हैं या सिंगापुर?
मुंबई को मुंबई रखना है भाई, क्यों शंघाई और सिंगापुर बनाएंगे? मुंबई का अपना एक कैरेक्टर है और मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ वो कैरेक्टर शंघाई या सिंगापुर से भी अच्छा है. सिर्फ मुंबई में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की कुछ गैप्स है, हाउसिंग की कुछ गैप्स है, उसको पूरा करना है. और उसकी शुरुआत तो 2014 के बाद हमने कर दी थी. अभी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आप देख पा रहे हैं और अगले 5 सालों में बहुत ज्यादा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आप देख पाएंगे. मैं ऐसा कहता हूं कि हम लोग शंघाई या सिंगापुर होने की बात क्यों करें, लोग मुंबई बनाने की बात करें. इस प्रकार का मुंबई तैयार करना है.
So tell us a little more about it कि क्या बनाने वाले हैं अगले 5 साल में, और अभी जो सिंगापुरियन डेलीगेशन आया था किस विषय में आया था, क्यों आया था?
देखिए, जब मैं मुंबई की बात करता हूं तो मुंबई केवल एक शहर नहीं है, तो एक मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन है. और ये जो एमएमआर रीजन है ये भारत का ग्रोथ इंजन है. आज हम महाराष्ट्र को $1 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी बनाने की बात करते हैं. भारत 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी बन रहा है. लेकिन हम लोग ये मानते हैं कि अकेले एमएमआर रीजन में $1.5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी तैयार करने की क्षमता है. और उसी क्षमता को हम लोग एक प्रकार से डेवलप करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तो आज आप देख सकते हो कि मुंबई में चाहे वो कोस्टल रोड हो, चाहे मेट्रो हो, चाहे अटल सेतु हो, ये सारी चीजों के कारण एक मुंबई का चेहरा बदला है. एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गैप हमने कम किया है. आज धारावी जैसा प्रोजेक्ट हम लोग जब सक्सेसफुली अगले 7 सालों में एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे तो स्लम फ्री मुंबई का जो सपना है उस सपने के हम पास पहुंचेंगे, क्योंकि धारावी एक ऐसा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल प्रोजेक्ट है कि जिसमें 10 लाख लोग, यानी दुनिया के तो आप या देश के भी 10 लाख के ऊपर के शहर उंगली पर गिनने इतने हैं, लेकिन अकेले धारावी में 10 लाख लोगों को अच्छा पक्का मकान हम लोग देंगे सारी सुविधाओं के साथ, और उसको एक बिजनेस डिस्ट्रिक्ट के रूप में भी हम लोग डेवलप करेंगे। और इसके साथ साथ अगर हम देखें तो जो नई मुंबई है, न्यू मुंबई, आज अटल सेतु के कारण मुंबई और न्यू मुंबई हम लोगों ने एक प्रकार से ज्वाइन कर ली है। तो अभी मुंबई, न्यू मुंबई के बाद थर्ड मुंबई, तीसरी मुंबई हम लोग तैयार कर रहे हैं, जो अटल सेतु और न्यू मुंबई एयरपोर्ट इसके बीच में पड़ेगी। और ये जो सारी नई मुंबई है, ये फ्यूचरिस्टिक मुंबई है। यहाँ एजू सिटी है, जिसमें दुनिया की टॉप रैंकिंग 7 यूनिवर्सिटीज अभी आ चुकी है और 5 यूनिवर्सिटीज अभी आ रही है। आज भी मैंने एक बहुत ही टॉप रैंकिंग यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ करीब डायलॉग फाइनल किया है। इसके साथ साथ यहाँ नॉलेज सिटी आ रही है, यहाँ इनोवेशन सिटी आ रही है, यहाँ मिडी सिटी आ रही है, यहाँ स्पोर्ट्स सिटी आ रही है। तो एक बिल्कुल नया एक हम एग्लोमरेशन यहाँ पर तैयार कर रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ अगर आप नॉर्दर्न साइड पर देखें तो देखिए, आज भारत का सबसे बड़ा कंटेनर पोर्ट ये हमारा जेएनपीटी पोर्ट है, लेकिन अब जेएनपीए से भी 3 गुना बड़ा पोर्ट हम लोग वाड़भण में तैयार कर रहे हैं, तो नॉर्दर्न साइड पर। और ये जो वाड़भण का पोर्ट है, ये हमारे देश को और महाराष्ट्र को एक मैरीटाइम पावर बनाएगा। और वाड़भण का पोर्ट ऐसा है कि जिस दिन वो तैयार होगा, दुनिया के पहले 10 बड़े पोर्ट में से एक पोर्ट होगा। आज हमारे पास पहले 30 पोर्ट में भी दुनिया के वी डोंट हैव अ पोर्ट इन इंडिया, लेकिन ये पहले 10 पोर्ट में होगा। और इसके कारण एक हमारी मैरीटाइम ताकत बढ़ेगी, सप्लाई चेन के हम भागीदार बनेंगे। और इसके साथ साथ ये जगह ऐसी है कि जहां बुलेट ट्रेन का स्टॉप भी आ रहा है। हम लोग यहाँ पर एक मुंबई का तीसरा एयरपोर्ट तैयार कर रहे हैं, और हमारा जो कोस्टल रोड है, इस कोस्टल रोड को हम वहां तक ले जाएंगे। तो कुल मिलाकर चौथी मुंबई जो है वो वहां बसने वाली है। तो मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि आने वाले दिनों में ये जो मुंबई का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हम लोग देखेंगे, इसमें बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर जॉब्स भी क्रिएट होंगे, अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग भी क्रिएट होगा, और एक सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट हम जिसको कहते हैं, उस डेवलपमेंट को हम लोग देख पाएंगे। ऐसी मुंबई की हम लोग तैयारी कर रहे हैं।
तो यानी बुलेट ट्रेन आ रहा है?
जी बिल्कुल आ रहा है, 2-2.5 साल में आ जाएगा।
आ जाएगा,
बिल्कुल आ जाएगा।
करण अर्जुन आएंगे वैसा सीन तो नहीं है?
बुलेट ट्रेन को अगर हमारे उद्धव जी की सरकार रोकती नहीं, तो शायद अभी उसके स्टेशंस भी हम देखते होते, और शायद 1-8 साल में बुलेट ट्रेन हमारे स्टेशन पर पहुंचता हुआ भी हम लोग देख लेते। लेकिन कोई बात नहीं, उन्होंने रोका, हमने वापस उसको स्पीड दी, तो अभी बहुत स्पीड से काम उसका चल रहा है, बहुत तेजी से चल रहा है।
ये कोस्टल रोड, धारावी और जैसा आपने कहा जो तीसरी मुंबई, इसको लेकर के 2 एलिगेशंस हैं। एक क्रोनी कैपिटलिज्म के कि कुछ फेवर्ड लोगों को ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स दिए जा रहे हैं, और दूसरा इकोलॉजिकल डिजास्टर कि एनवायरनमेंट को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जा रहा है, और इकोलॉजिकल बैलेंस कि वहां से जो टाइड शिफ्ट होगा तो कटान कहीं और होगी एंड फर्दर डाउन द कोस्ट डैमेज होगा। इस पर आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, पहली बात तो यह है कि जिन्होंने जिंदगी भर क्रॉनिक कैपिटलिज्म को अपने व्यवहार में लाया, वही लोग हमारे ऊपर आरोप करते हैं। आप मुझे बताइए कि 25 साल पिछले अगर हम लोग देख ले, स्पेशली अगर हम 90 का दशक देखें और 2014 तक, ये सारा हम ये अगर दशक देख ले, तो मुंबई का विकास क्यों नहीं हुआ? Why did we lose on IT revolution? Why did IT revolution went to Bangalore and Hyderabad? It was just because of the crony capitalism of the then people. उनके कारण जो लोग ये BMC चलाते थे या अलग अलग समय पर जो लोग सरकारें चलाते थे, यहाँ केवल जो कुछ मुट्ठी भर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स है, उनके लिए प्रोजेक्ट्स बने, मुंबई के लिए नहीं बने। और आप देखिए, हजारों करोड़ रुपए मुंबई में खर्चा कर दिया, लेकिन मुंबई का चेहरा नहीं बदल पाए। अगर हम 5 साल में मुंबई बदल सकते हैं, 10 साल में मुंबई को एक डिफरेंट लीग में ले जा सकते हैं, तो 20-20, 25-25 साल इनका एक फलसफा है। इनका फलसफा यह है कि अगर हम लोगों को विकास दिखाएंगे, अगर हम उनको डेवलपमेंट दिखाएंगे, तो लोग एस्पिरेशनल होंगे, और एस्पिरेशनल होंगे तो सवाल पूछेंगे। इसलिए इन्होंने विकास ही नहीं दिखाया कभी। और जब आज विकास दिख रहा है लोगों को, तो ये लोग क्रोनी कैपिटलिज्म की बात करते हैं। मैं आपको एक बात बोलता हूं कि हम लोगों ने जो भी काम हाथ में लिया, जो भी, मैं दावे के साथ कहता हूं कि हमारी प्रोसेसेस देख लीजिए, हमारी प्रोसेस में कोई भी गलती होती, अगर ट्रांसपेरेंसी की कमी होती, तो ये तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट तक लड़े ना हमारे साथ। हर जगह क्यों हारे? हर जगह इनको हारना पड़ा। और ये लोग ऐसे हैं कि इधर सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात करते हैं, और आरए के बारे में, जब आरए में मेट्रो का कार शेड बनाना था, तो उस कार शेड को बनाने के लिए जो पेड़ काटने थे, उसके बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक टिप्पणी की, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये जितने पेड़ कट रहे, ये पेड़ उनके लाइफ टाइम में जितना कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन करेंगे, उतना ये जो मेट्रो है 88 डेज में उतना कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन ये मेट्रो करेगी। 88 डेज, जस्ट 88 डेज। और इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने परमिशन दी। लेकिन उसके बावजूद 2.5 साल तक इन्होंने उसको रोक कर रखा। ये 2.5 साल में हमारे यहां पर जो एमिशन हुआ है, उसके जिम्मेदार कौन है? जो हमारे यहां पोल्यूशन हो, उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? 2.5 साल में जो हमारे लोगों की लाइफ कम हो, उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात करते हैं। मुझे बताइए, ये जितने साल सत्ता में थे, हर साल हमारे मुंबई के मैंग्रोव्स कम हुए। मैंग्रोव्स तो हमारे लंग्स है, मैंग्रोव्स कम हुए। हमने 2014 से मैंग्रोव्स डेवलपमेंट का काम शुरू किया। आप 2020 का फॉरेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया का रिपोर्ट देखिए। द ओनली स्टेट वेयर फॉरेस्ट हैज इंक्रीज्ड, द ओनली स्टेट वेयर मैंग्रोव्स हैव इंक्रीज्ड इज द स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र। ये महाराष्ट्र ने करके दिखाया। हम भाषण करने वाले लोग नहीं है, ये भाषण दे देकर लूटते रहे। इनके काल में मुझे बताइए कि ये आरए की बात करते हैं या ये संजय गांधी नेशनल पार्क की बात करते हैं। आप देखिए, संजय गांधी नेशनल पार्क में, आरए में इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंगें बन गई, किसके काल में बनी? तब इनको ध्यान में नहीं आया, तब देयर वाज नथिंग अबाउट सस्टेनेबिलिटी। ये सिर्फ भाषण करने वाले लोग हैं, और कुछ विशेष लोग पहुंच गए कि इनकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी जेब में चली जाती है। हमारा ऐसा नहीं है। हम जो करते हैं सस्टेनेबली करते हैं, ट्रांसपेरेंटली करते हैं।
आपकी विकसित मुंबई में कबूतर खाने की जगह है?
देखिए, कबूतर खाने के बारे में मैं बहुत साफ शब्दों में कहता हूं कि इसमें एक और स्वास्थ्य है और दूसरी ओर आस्था है। दोनों का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, लेकिन स्वास्थ्य का पहले ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा और उसके साथ साथ आस्था का भी ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा। तो इसके लिए हम लोग उपाय कर सकते हैं। ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ये कोई ऐसा प्रश्न है कि भारत और पाकिस्तान की बॉर्डर हमको सेटल करनी है, ऐसा तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। तो इसलिए अब हमको हाईकोर्ट ने कुछ निर्देश दिए हैं, तो हाईकोर्ट के डायरेक्टिव्स के अनुसार एक एक्सपर्ट कमेटी तैयार की है। वो एक्सपर्ट कमेटी इसके ऊपर काम करेगी और इसमें लोगों का हेल्थ और लोगों की आस्था, इन दोनों का बैलेंस तैयार करेंगे।
कहा यह जा रहा है कि जब जैन संगठन गया, लॉक्स तोड़ दिए, सील तोड़ दिया, तो कुछ नहीं किया गया, बट जब मराठी संगठन गए क्रिटिसाइज करने के आपने जो सील किया, तो उनके ऊपर पुलिस एक्शन किया।
देखिए, दोनों के ऊपर एक्शन हुआ और दोनों के ऊपर एक्शन नहीं हुआ। मसलन बड़े पैमाने पर जैन संगठन के लोग जब गए थे, उनको भी रोका गया। उसमें भी जो एक कार्रवाई पुलिस को करनी पड़ती है वो गई। और आज एक मराठी संगठन के 30 लोग गए थे, ज्यादा लोग नहीं थे, 30 लोग वहां पर गए हुए थे। उनको भी पुलिस ने रोका और वापस भेजा। उनके ऊपर भी कोई कड़ी कार्रवाई नहीं की। तो पुलिस इतना ही करती है। ऐसे मामलों में जहां बहुत लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, वहां लोगों को रोका जाता है, उनको बैठा के ले गया जाता है, उनके ऊपर एक 69-70 की नोटिस कुछ देते हैं और छोड़ देते हैं। तो वही किया है सबके साथ।
कहीं है कि ये एंटी मराठी मानुस इमेज आपका क्रिएट करने की कोशिश हो रही है।
देखिए, मैं आपको एक बात बोलता हूं, जब तक महानगर पालिका का चुनाव नहीं हो जाता, तब तक ऐसी बातों को तूल देने का प्रयास बहुत होगा। लेकिन मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि जो लोग ऐसा मानते हैं कि ऐसा करके मुंबई में मराठी और नॉन मराठी विवाद खड़ा करेंगे, वो लोग मुंबई के मिजाज को नहीं जानते और मुझे आश्चर्य है कि वो लोग क्यों नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं मुंबई का मिजाज क्या है। मुंबई में ये सारी चीजें नहीं चलेगी और इसलिए नहीं चलेगी क्योंकि हमने कभी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया नहीं है। और मैं तो दावे के साथ कहता हूं कि मुंबई के मराठी माणूस के लिए 10 साल में हमने क्या किया और जो लोग मराठी माणूस की बात कर रहे हैं उन्होंने क्या किया, इसका हिसाब लगाइए। अरे भाई, मराठी को अभिजात भाषा का दर्जा, क्लासिकल लैंग्वेज का दर्जा देने वाले नरेंद्र मोदी है। उससे पहले नहीं मिला, यूपीए की सरकार में नहीं मिला ये दर्जा। आज हम लोग अगर देखेंगे तो मराठी अस्मिता के जो विषय, इन सारे विषयों को पूरा करने वाली सरकार हमारी है। इनके काल में तो मुंबई का मराठी आदमी मुंबई के हिंटरलैंड से या मुंबई के गिरगांव जैसे जो मराठी बस्तियां थी, इन बस्तियों से लोग निकल कर मीरा भाईंदर चले गए, कल्याण डोंबिवली चले गए, थाना के पार चले गए। लेकिन हमने मराठी आदमी को वही घर दिया। आज बीडीडी चाल, कल मैं जा रहा हूं बीडीडी चाल में, और बीडीडी चाल में रहने वाला 120 फुट में रहने वाला मेरा मराठी आदमी, मैंने उसको वहीं बसाया और 500 स्क्वायर फीट जगह दी, 500 स्क्वायर फीट।
नहीं, आपने बसा तो दिया, लेकिन आरोप यह है कि अब आप उनको पढ़ा या सिखा हिंदी रहे हैं उनके बच्चों को। तो ये भाषा का भी कि ये ठाकरे बंधु साथ में नहीं आते तो फिर ये हिंदी इम्पोजिशन फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड से हो जाता। आदित्य भी अभी यही कह के गए, आप मिले उनसे बाहर?
देखिए, वो कई बार क्या होता है कि लोग गजनी की तरफ व्यवहार करते हैं। ये गजनी है, ये पॉलिटिक्स के गजनी है। पहली बात तो यह है कि महाराष्ट्र में व्हाट इज कंपल्सरी इन महाराष्ट्र में क्या अनिवार्य है, वो मराठी अनिवार्य है। उसके साथ साथ 2 भाषा और कौन सी सिखानी, तो एक व्यवहार के लिए अंग्रेजी है और दूसरी हिंदी सिखानी है। इतना ही निर्णय था। और ये निर्णय कैसे आया, मैं गजनी क्यों कह रहा हूं, क्योंकि जब न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई तो उद्धव ठाकरे जी की सरकार थी। उद्धव ठाकरे जी की सरकार ने एक कमेटी तैयार की। उस कमेटी में न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी और लैंग्वेज, ऐसा उसकी एक सब कमेटी थी। लैंग्वेज की सब कमेटी में उद्धव ठाकरे जी के उपनेता ये प्रमुखता से उस कमेटी में थे। उस कमेटी ने क्या निर्णय लिया, उस कमेटी ने निर्णय लिया कि पहली से लेकर 12वीं तक मराठी, अंग्रेजी और हिंदी ये कंपलसरी होगा, अनिवार्य होगा। उसके बाद ये रिपोर्ट जब सबमिट हुआ तो रिपोर्ट उद्धव जी के कैबिनेट में आया। उद्धव जी ने कैबिनेट में उसको मान्यता दी। उसके 1 हफ्ते बाद मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग कैबिनेट के ये मान्यता के लिए आए, उसको भी उद्धव जी ने मान्यता दी। यानी सारा किया किसने, उद्धव जी के कैबिनेट ने। और अब जैसे ही चुनाव सामने आया तो पलट गए, गजनी बन गए, भूल गए अपनी सरकार ने किया है।
और वो कह रहे हैं कि सिग्नेचर दादा भूसे जी का था, आपकी सरकार ने जीआर निकाला।
देखिए, मैं इतना ही कहूंगा,
सब कमेटी की
मैं इतना ही कहूंगा कि जिसको ये समझता है कि सरकार कैसे चलती है, सरकार कैबिनेट के निर्णय से चलती है। कैबिनेट का निर्णय उन्होंने लिया, उस निर्णय का जो ऑफशूट होता है वो होता है जीआर। वो जीआर हमारे समय निकला। अगर कैबिनेट का निर्णय नहीं होता तो हम जीआर निकाल सकते? नहीं निकाल सकते। तो निर्णय तो उन्होंने किया। और मैं आपको एक बात बोलता हूं कि ये निर्णय कोई गलत थोड़ी लिया हमने, यानी उसको मैं कोई डिफेंड थोड़ी कर रहा हूं, कोई गलती थोड़ी है। अरे भाई, अगर 3 भाषाएं सिखानी है तो तीसरी भाषा अगर हमने तो कहा चलो आपको हिंदी से ऐतराज है ना, देश की कोई भी भाषा सिखाएंगे, उस पर भी उनको ऐतराज है। अब मुझे बताइए, मेरा तो सवाल इतना ही है कि आप अंग्रेजी के लिए रेड कारपेट डालते हो और देश की भाषा को विरोध करते हो, क्यों? देखिए, यहां महाराष्ट्र में मैं बहुत साफ शब्दों में कह देता हूं कि 3 भाषा का सूत्र रहेगा। अब कौन से क्लास से करना है वो हम तय करेंगे, और तीसरी भाषा ये भारतीय भाषा ही होगी, हम दूसरी भाषा नहीं अलाउ करेंगे।
तो चलिए, लैंग्वेज का विवाद वहां रुक गया। एक और विवाद आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने शुरू किया है स्ट्रेज को लेकर के। तो विकसित मुंबई में, बिकॉज इट्स एन इशू इन दिल्ली, 10 लाख से ज्यादा स्ट्रेज हैं, उनको लीज करना है। अगर मुंबई में है तो उनकी गिनती बहुत ज्यादा होगी, गणना होगी। सो वेयर डू यू स्टैंड ऑन दिस?
वी हैव टू स्ट्राइक अ बैलेंस। अल्टीमेटली एक तरफ लोगों के लिए ईज ऑफ लिविंग की हम बात करते हैं, दूसरी तरफ भूत दया की हम बात करते हैं। ये दोनों चीजें जरूरी है, इसमें से कोई एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है। लोगों का जीने का हक ये भी एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है और एनिमल्स का जीने का हक ये भी एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है। कई बार दोनों तरफ के जो लोग होते हैं वो एक्सट्रीम को चले जाते हैं, तो इसमें हमको कहीं ना कहीं एक बीच का मार्ग ढूंढना पड़ेगा। हम लोगों को अल्टीमेटली, हम लोग जब फूड चेन की बात करते हैं, हम लोग जब पर्यावरण की बात करते हैं, तो एक दूसरे के ऊपर डिपेंडेंसी सबकी है। प्राणियों पर भी हमारी डिपेंडेंसी है, हमारे ऊपर प्राणियों की डिपेंडेंसी है, लेकिन इसमें हमको बैलेंस कहां स्ट्राइक करना पड़ेगा। तो जहां पर अगर ये नजर आता है कि लोगों का स्वास्थ्य या लोगों का जीने का जो एक तरीका है, सेफ्टी है, इसमें अगर प्रॉब्लम आता है तो सेफ्टी इंश्योर करने के लिए जो करना जरूरी है उतना ही करना जरूरी है। हम लोग एक्सटेंड नहीं कर सकते, हम पूरा खत्म नहीं कर सकते।
पर मुख्यमंत्री जी, आप नहीं मानते हैं कि द इशू इज नॉट द स्ट्रेज? क्यों आ रहे हैं स्ट्रेज? दैट्स वेस्ट। अगर डिस्पोजेबल वेस्ट, वेट वेस्ट जो है जिस तरह से डंप किया जा रहा है, अगर उसको आपने कंट्रोल कर दिया तो अपने आप स्ट्रेस की तादाद कम नहीं हो जाएगी?
कि इतना आसान नहीं है।
कॉज एंड इफेक्ट की मैं बात
ना, इतना आसान नहीं है। इट्स नॉट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ,
आई ऑल्सो वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड इफ इट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर विजन फॉर अ विकसित।
देखिए, इतना ये आसान नहीं है। देखिए, ऐसा है कि बेसिकली एक समय ऐसा था कि जब हमारे यहाँ पर कॉरपोरेशंस एक मुहिम चलाती थी और स्ट्रे डॉग को मार देती थी, विच वाज अगेन रॉन्ग। उसके बाद एक मुहिम चली कि भाई इस प्रकार से मार देना गलत है। उसके बाद फिर ये तय हुआ और कोर्ट ने भी यह निर्णय दिया कि इसको मारना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन एक प्रकार से स्टरलाइजेशन आप कर दीजिए ताकि पॉपुलेशन न बढ़े। अब उसकी उतनी व्यवस्थाएं भी खड़ी नहीं हुई, उतना मतलब जिस तेजी से उसको करना चाहिए, या एक प्रकार से वो प्रायोरिटी जिस प्रकार से होनी चाहिए वो प्रायोरिटी भी नहीं रही। तो इसके कारण बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर स्ट्रे डॉग्स की संख्या बढ़ी। अब संख्या बढ़ी तो फिर खाने के लिए या बाकी चीजों के लिए इधर उधर उनका घूमना चालू हुआ। तो ये एक पूरा साइकिल है, इसलिए इसको आप आइसोलेशन में नहीं देख सकते। इसके ऊपर आपको उपाय योजना करनी पड़ेगी और वो एक दिन में नहीं होगी। इसको बहुत ग्रेजुअली उसकी उपाय योजना आपको करनी पड़ेगी, ताकि जहां हम लोग मतलब एक प्रकार से भूत दया भी हमारी जीवित रहे, लेकिन उसका जो हैजार्ड ये लोगों को सहन करना पड़ता है। कई बार हम देखते हैं, विशेष रूप से आप देखिए, टू व्हीलर पे जाने वाला, साइकिल पे जाने वाला, इसके पीछे वो दौड़ते हैं, उसको काटते हैं,
सुबह सुबह जो चलने निकलते हैं, देर रात को निकलते हैं।
मतलब मुझे लगता है कि इसलिए इसको दोनों एंगल देखना बहुत जरूरी है।
तो इस पर आप कुछ काम कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, आजकल तो हम काम किस पर कर रहे हैं? हाथी,
हाँ, मैं वो भी,
कबूतर, कुत्ते, इन्हीं पे काम चल रहा है। और क्या चल रहा है?
तो अब आपने हाथी की बात की तो फिर महादेवी जी की भी बात कर लें कि वहां क्या हुआ था। कोर्ट ने कुछ कहा, कुछ बवाल, कुछ और कोल्हापुर में कट गया, आपको इंटरवेंशन करना पड़ा। जल्दी से जरा बताएं।
इसमें सरकार का कोई रोल नहीं था। महादेवी उस मठ में कई वर्षों से थी। अभी एक एनजीओ ने यह कोर्ट में पिटीशन की कि महादेवी के साथ ठीक से बर्ताव नहीं हो रहा है, एनिमल क्रुएल्टी है। उसमें कोर्ट ने उसको किसी हाई पावर कमेटी को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करके रेफर किया। हाई पावर कमेटी ने कहा कि आप इस प्रकार से महादेवी को नहीं रख सकते, आपको उसको किसी और जगह भेजना पड़ेगा जहां पर ये सारी व्यवस्थाएं है, वहां पर रेस्क्यू सेंटर में आपको भेजना पड़ेगा। उसके ऊपर वो लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट गए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि नहीं, रेस्क्यू सेंटर भेजना पड़ेगा। तो महादेवी चली गई रेस्क्यू सेंटर में। अब यहां तक हमारा कोई रोल नहीं है। अब उसके बाद जब जनाक्रोश तैयार हुआ, क्योंकि वहां फिर आस्था का प्रश्न निर्माण हुआ कि भाई महादेवी तो इतने सालों से हम लोग उसको पूछते हैं और महादेवी इज पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ। जब ऐसे प्रश्न निर्माण होते हैं तो सरकार को उसके बीच में कूदना पड़ता है। तो फिर हम लोग भी उसमें कूदे और हमने फिर उसमें से एक मार्ग ऐसा निकाला कि नाउ वी हैव अप्रोच द सुप्रीम कोर्ट। और हमने सुप्रीम कोर्ट को ये कहा है कि या हम कहना चाहते हैं कि वी एक्नॉलेज, जो हाई पावर कमेटी ने कहा है कि अगर हम महादेवी को रखते हैं तो एनिमल क्रुएल्टी नहीं होनी चाहिए। जो एक इकोसिस्टम उनके जिंदा रहने के लिए आवश्यक है, वो इकोसिस्टम तैयार होनी चाहिए। और आपने उनको रेस्क्यू सेंटर में इसलिए भेजा कि हमारे पास इकोसिस्टम नहीं है, मठ के पास इकोसिस्टम नहीं है। तो हमने अभी ये कहा है कि कोल्हापुर में मठ के पास हम ही लोग उस प्रकार की इकोसिस्टम तैयार करेंगे। रेस्क्यू सेंटर में जो इकोसिस्टम है वो कंप्लीट इकोसिस्टम हम वहां तैयार करेंगे, और हाई पावर कमेटी ने जो निर्देश दिए उन निर्देशों के साथ महादेवी को वहां रखेंगे। तो देखते सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या कहता है।
चलिए, प्राणी और जीवों के बीच में काफी चर्चा हुई है क्योंकि आपने कहा, बट लेट्स कम बैक टू द ह्यूमन इशू इन टर्म्स ऑफ द बीएमसी इलेक्शन। सर, चुनाव कब करा रहे हैं सर आप? ये म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन का फिर टलते ही जा रहा है, कब करा रहे हैं? कोर्ट ने भी कह दिया, कोर्ट हैव आल्सो सेड।
देखिए, चुनाव करना है स्टेट के हाथ में नहीं है। स्टेट में इंडिपेंडेंट एक चुनाव आयोग है जो एक्ट के तहत तैयार हुआ है, ये उसकी जिम्मेदारी है। स्टेट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हमको नहीं कहा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने चुनाव आयोग को कहा है कि आप चुनाव कीजिए। अभी चुनाव आयोग ने प्रक्रिया शुरू कर दी है। अभी उसमें सबसे पहले जिला पंचायत, नगर पालिका और महानगर पालिका का वार्ड फॉर्मेशन होता है। वार्ड फॉर्मेशन की प्रक्रिया करीब करीब अभी पूरी हो गई है। वो अभी सजेशन ऑब्जेक्शंस के बाद इलेक्शन कमीशन में अंतिम चरण में है। उसके बाद इलेक्शन कमीशन वोटर लिस्ट जारी करेगा, और जो इलेक्शन कमीशन ने अपने इंटरव्यू में बताया, उन्होंने कहा कि हम एक साथ ये सारे चुनाव नहीं करा सकते क्योंकि उसमें काफी हैसल होता है। तो इसलिए आज तक वो 3 फेजेस में इसको करते हैं। पहले जिला पंचायत करते हैं, फिर नगर पालिका करते हैं, फिर महानगर पालिका करते हैं। उसी प्रकार से वो करेंगे, ऐसा उन्होंने घोषित किया है। तो मुझे लगता है कि अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर कभी भी हो सकते हैं।
अक्टूबर में और नवंबर में तो पर्व आ रहे हैं, दिवाली आएगी, छठ
ठीक है, वो तो उतना तो इलेक्शन कमीशन उतना देखता है, वो दिवाली है या क्या है, तो छुट्टियां छोड़कर या इस प्रकार के त्योहारों को छोड़कर ही वो डेट्स फाइनल करते हैं।
आपने भी अगले प्रश्न का क्यों मुझे दे दिया, वोटर लिस्ट। आपने लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद वोट जिहाद की बात की थी, अब विपक्ष वोट चोरी की बात कर रहा है, तो आप क्या कहेंगे?
प्रॉब्लम ये है
कि इलेक्शन कमीशन आपके खिस्से में, जहां बीजेपी को नंबर ज्यादा चाहिए, वोटर ज्यादा चाहिए, वहां वोटर बढ़ जाते हैं, जहां बीजेपी को वोटर कम चाहिए वहां वोटर कम हो जाते हैं।
ये मामला वोट चोरी का नहीं है, ये दिमाग चोरी का मामला है। विपक्ष का दिमाग चोरी चला गया है। उनके दिमाग की जो चिप है वो चिप थोड़ी सी डैमेज हो गई और चोरी चली गई है, इसलिए रोज झूठी बातें कहते हैं, वही बातें कहते हैं। मेरा एक ही सवाल विपक्ष को, एक ही सवाल है कि आप रोज देखिए, युद्ध की एक नीति होती है। युद्ध की नीति क्या होती है? शूट एंड स्कूट, मतलब फायर करो और भाग जाओ, उस जगह से निकल जाओ। बस उसी नीति को विपक्ष अमल में ला रहा है। वो शूट करता है और भाग जाता है। मेरा विपक्ष को इतना ही सवाल है कि आपके पास इतने एविडेंसेस है। राहुल गांधी कोई किताब लेकर, मैंने उनका देखा, ऐसा बड़ा स्क्रीन लगा हुआ है, वो इधर घूम रहे, इधर घूम रहे, कुछ बोल रहे हैं राहुल गांधी। अरे भाई, आपको 3 बार नोटिस दिया इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कि आपके पास क्या है, आकर दीजिए ना, क्यों नहीं देते?
बोले 300 एमपी गए थे, हम रोक दिया, अरेस्ट कर दिया,
घबराते,
जाने नहीं दिया।
क्यों? वो तो मिलने के लिए थोड़ी गए थे, वो तो निदर्शन करने के लिए गए थे। जाइए ना मिलने के लिए, आपको इलेक्शन कमीशन है। अच्छा, इतनी मजेदार बात कहते हैं, वो कहते हैं कि मैंने संसद में शपथ ली है, इसलिए मैं एफिडेविट नहीं दूंगा। अब मैं भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाकर कहने वाला हूं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट मुझे एफिडेविट मांगे तो मैं कहूंगा कि मैंने विधानसभा में शपथ ली है, इसलिए मैं आपको एफिडेविट नहीं दूंगा। मूर्खतापूर्ण बात है। अगर आपके बातों में दम है तो हिम्मत दिखाइए, और हिम्मत के साथ आप जाइए, इलेक्शन कमीशन में जाकर बताइए ये धांधलियां हुई है, लेट द इलेक्शन कमीशन फेस इट। लेकिन आपके पास कोई प्रूफ ही नहीं है, कोई एविडेंस ही नहीं है। अच्छा, आप ही सबने तो उनकी धज्जियां उड़ा दी। उन्होंने जो अलग अलग लोगों के नाम बताए थे, आपने जाकर उनके इंटरव्यूज ले लिए, और तो उन्होंने बताया हम तो यही रहते हैं, हमारा तो नाम ही है, हमारा तो सभी है। तो जो उन्होंने एक बड़ा ऑरा क्रिएट किया था, एज इफ ही हैज डिस्कवर्ड समथिंग, वो तो खोदा पहाड़ और चूहा भी नहीं निकला, ऐसी उनकी हालत है।
नहीं, वो तो कह रहे हैं एटम बॉम्ब है, इससे तो पूरा इलेक्शन कमीशन हिल जाएगा।
उनके
1 man 1 vote,
उनके बॉम्ब में ना एटम होता है ना बॉम्ब होता है, सिर्फ उनके दिमाग में वो चलता है। ये उनकी हालत है ना। वो मुन्ना भाई MBBS में वो जो संजय दत्त को ऐसा लगने लगता है कि भाई गांधी जी मुझसे बात कर रहे हैं, वैसी हालत राहुल गांधी की हो गई है। वैसे ही उनको एक ऐसा लगता है कि ये हो रहा है, कुछ इल्यूजन में हो।
चलिए, आपने इल्यूजन की, देखिए आज सारे सवालों के क्यों मंत्री जी दे रहे हैं, मुख्यमंत्री जी दे रहे हैं। इल्यूजन की बात की तो महायुति में कोई इल्यूजन है कि सर? आप और एकनाथ शिंदे जी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ कहा जा रहा है।
महायुति में ना इल्यूजन है ना कंफ्यूजन है। मैं और शिंदे जी दिन में 2 बार बात करते हैं। आपके आने से पहले भी उनसे बात करके आया हूं, इसलिए आप चिंता मत कीजिए।
हमें तो पता लगा कि वो जम्मू कश्मीर में फोन करके बैठे हैं।
आप लोगों की अपेक्षा क्या है कि हम लोग ऐसे कैमरे लगाए और फिर एक दूसरे को फोन करें? ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, ऐसा थोड़ी चलता है। हमारे बिल्कुल अच्छा समन्वय, आप चिंता मत कीजिए,
बिल्कुल
कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
तो फिर ये जो आपने उद्धव जी को न्योता दिया था सदन में, वो क्यों दिया था फिर?
ये न्योता कैसा था मालूम है? जैसा अपन चलते चलते अब आप और मैं मिल गए, मतलब अपन तो दोस्त है, पर समझ लिया पहली बार मिले तो मैं आपको जाते जाते बोलता हूं, अच्छा मिलना फिर कभी। आपको भी मालूम है आप नहीं मिलने वाले, और मुझे भी मालूम है मुझे मिलना नहीं है आपसे। ये मिलना फिर कभी था। अब मीडिया को इतना भी समझ में नहीं आता तो मैं करूं क्या भाई? जो सभागृह में मजाक चलती है या जो हाउस में एक प्रकार से एक दूसरे की टांग खिंचाई होती है, तो आजकल ये चीजें भी लोग समझते नहीं। अब इसको अगर न्योता मान ले तो ये तो बड़ा आश्चर्य की बात है। तो देखिए, मैं आपको आपके आगे के प्रश्न समाप्त कर देता हूं। हमारे यहाँ कोई जगह खाली नहीं है। नो,
कोई जगह खाली नहीं है,
कुछ नहीं।
बट मैं कहा तो ये जा रहा है कि जो 2 जगह खाली थी उसको लेकर के झगड़ा हो रहा है आपके और एकनाथ शिंदे जी के बीच में। ये गार्डियन मिनिस्टर को लेकर के
कोई झगड़ा नहीं है। देखिए, ऐसा है कि 2 जगह पर गार्डियन मिनिस्टर देना है और वहां पर एक जगह शिवसेना और राष्ट्रवादी, उन दोनों में से कौन देना, और एक जगह बीजेपी और शिवसेना, इन दोनों में से कौन देना, इसका फैसला बाकी है। तो हम लोगों ने तय किया है कि इसका फैसला मिलकर करेंगे, तो कर देंगे। अभी चीजें थोड़ी अटकी है, तो क्या जो वहां फैसले लेने पड़ते हैं फैसले तो हम ले ही रहे हैं।
ये कॉर्पोरेशन के चुनाव साथ लड़ रहे हैं कि अकेले लड़ रहे हैं?
नहीं, साथ में लड़ेंगे। क्यों अकेले लड़ेंगे? हम कॉर्पोरेशन का चुनाव साथ में ही लड़ने वाले हैं। बीएमसी में हम सब साथ साथ है।
आप साथ साथ हैं?
बिल्कुल।
पर ऐसा तो नहीं कि कोई 10 है और कोई 4 है, यानी कोई 10 है और कोई 4 है?
ऐसा नहीं, देखिए,
क्योंकि आपको भी बीएमसी में कंट्रोल चाहिए तो नंबर चाहिए होंगे।
अल्टीमेटली हर पार्टी की अपनी एक क्षमता है
जी।
जैसे एग्जाम्पल के लिए मैं कहता हूं कि बीजेपी ये पिछले समय 82 सीटें चुनकर आई हुई है, तो 82 हमारे सिटिंग नगर सेवक है। तो आज मुंबई में जो यहाँ के एमएलएज है उनमें बीजेपी के 15 एमएलए चुनकर आए हैं। सबसे बड़ी पार्टी बीजेपी है
जी।
तो उसी हिसाब से हम लोग आपस में बंटवारा करेंगे, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। जो जिसकी जितनी क्षमता होगी उस क्षमता के अनुसार उसको जगह मिलेगी।
तो इस केस में जिसकी जितनी संख्या भारी वाला फॉर्मूला
वैसे ही होता है। अगर समझ लीजिए एक आधी जगह उनकी संख्या हमसे ज्यादा है तो उनको ज्यादा मिलने चाहिए, हमको कम मिलने चाहिए।
ये ऑडियंस की तरफ से प्रश्न है, समय आपके पास अल्प है तो 1-2 प्रश्न आपसे ऑडियंस की तरफ से भी पूछूंगा। कई सारे हमने मुद्दे कवर किए हैं, 2 मुद्दे मैं खासकर ऑडियंस की तरफ से। एक ट्रैफिक के बारे में कि मुंबई की ट्रैफिक को आप कैसे कम करेंगे, क्या ईज करने के लिए, डीकंजेशन के लिए आप क्या कहें?
देखिए, एक मल्टी प्रोन अप्रोच हमने मुंबई की ट्रैफिक के लिए लिया है। एक और जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेफिसिट है हम उसको खत्म करें। आज देखिए कोस्टल रोड बन गया तो काफी ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल में आए। मुंबई टिपिकली आप देखेंगे तो 60% मुंबई का ट्रैफिक ये वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे पे चलता है, और वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे को डीकंजेस्ट करने के लिए हम लोगों ने 2 चीजें की है। एक, वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे पे मेट्रो का नेटवर्क हमारा करीब करीब अभी डिलीवर हो रहा है, वो पूरा हो जाएगा। और उसके साथ साथ हमारा जो कोस्टल रोड है, अभी बांद्रा से वर्सोवा हम लोग जो है वो 60% काम हमारा हो गया है। अभी हम लोग वर्सोवा से लेकर तो भाईंदर तक 4 लिंक तैयार कर रहे हैं। तो कंप्लीटली वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे को पैरेलल कोस्टल रोड हम दे रहे हैं, और इसके कारण बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर जो मुंबई का ट्रैफिक है उसको हम ईज करेंगे। इसके साथ साथ मेट्रो का नेटवर्क हम लोग जो तैयार करेंगे उसका एक बड़ा फायदा मुंबई को होने वाला है। ईस्टर्न साइड पर भी हम लोग मेट्रो का नेटवर्क तैयार कर रहे हैं, और हमारा जो ईस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे है उसको थाने तक हम लोग ले जा रहे हैं, इसके कारण भी फायदा होगा। कोई मिसिंग लिंक्स हम कर रहे हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि एक बड़ा टनल का नेटवर्क हम लोग तैयार कर रहे हैं। थाना से बोरीवली तक का टनल होगा, मुलुंड से जो टनल है वो टनल होगा। ऐसे सारे टनल्स का काम भी ऑलरेडी, अच्छा ये जो मैं कह रहा हूं इनमें से कोई भी चीज ऐसे नहीं है कि जो केवल
हमें देखना है हम देखते रहेंगे वाला नहीं है।
इस सबके टेंडर कर चुके हैं हम लोग।
अच्छा,
और सबके वर्क ऑर्डर्स दे चुके हैं और अभी काम चालू कर रहे हैं हम सब।
तो आपके कार्यकाल में ये,
हाँ बिल्कुल, अगले 3-4 सालों में 4-4 साल तो लगते हैं।
आपको लगता है एक और टर्म चाहिए होगा?
नहीं, वो दूसरी चीज के लिए मांगेंगे, इसके लिए नहीं, वो दूसरी चीज के लिए मांगेंगे, ये तो हम कर लेंगे इस टर्म में।
अच्छा, एक और विषय है, आई थिंक एज होम मिनिस्टर ऑफ द स्टेट, 2 फाइनल क्वेश्चन सर। एक है स्टूडेंट सुसाइड्स को लेकर कि महाराष्ट्र रैंक्स, ये ऑडियंस क्वेश्चन है, कि नंबर 2 इन द लिस्ट ऑफ स्टूडेंट सुसाइड्स। क्या ये आपके संज्ञान में है? आर यू ट्राइंग टू अप्रोच दिस इन अ वे?
ये हम सभी के लिए गंभीर समस्या है। मैं इसके नंबर्स में इसलिए नहीं जाऊंगा कि फिर मैं उसका एक काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट भी ये कर सकता हूं कि आप पर लाख पॉपुलेशन देखेंगे तो महाराष्ट्र सेकंड पे नहीं है, काफी नीचे है। महाराष्ट्र बीइंग अ बिग स्टेट तो ये नंबर आपको ज्यादा दिखता है, लेकिन एक बच्चा, 4 बच्चे, 5 बच्चे, कोई भी अगर सुसाइड करता है तो ये मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि हमारे लिए गंभीर बात है। और ऑफ लेट ये ध्यान में आ रहा है कि थोड़ा एक जिसको डिप्रेशन कहते हैं, वो
मेंटल हेल्थ,
मेंटल हेल्थ का जो विषय है, ये थोड़ा हमारे बच्चों में हमको दिखाई पड़ता है। इससे कई कारण है कि अर्बन लाइफ थोड़ा अलग तरीके से हो गया है, पीयर प्रेशर बड़े पैमाने पर हो गया है, माँ बाप दोनों को घर चलाने के लिए काम करना पड़ता है, तो शायद फैमिली का उतना समय बच्चों को नहीं मिल पाता। ऐसे कई चीजें इसके लिए है, तो हम लोग इस पर वर्किंग थोड़ा कर रहे हैं और विशेष रूप से हम लोग स्कूल्स में इसके ऊपर वर्किंग करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और मैं ये मानता हूं कि गंभीर विषय, इस पर वर्किंग करना होगा हमको।
इंडिपेंडेंस डे इज अराउंड द कॉर्नर। कहीं ना कहीं रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ सब नेशनलिज्म इज कमिंग इन पुणे एंड सम ऑफ द अदर डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, जहां ये कहा जा रहा है कि इस बार तिरंगा नहीं, आप महाराष्ट्र का झंडा फहराइए, या इस तरह की बात है। आपके संज्ञान में ये बात आई है? ये कहीं ना कहीं मुहिम चल रही है?
ऐसा कोई कहता होगा तो ये मूर्खता है। देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव टू द नेशनल फ्लैग। तिरंगा ही सर्वोपरि है।
तो हर घर तिरंगा महाराष्ट्र में भी दिखेगा?
हर घर तिरंगा लगना चाहिए, हर घर तिरंगा लगेगा, तिरंगा ही फहराया जाएगा।
फ्रीडम आपके लिए क्या है? फ्रीडम, हाउ विल यू डिफाइन इट?
देखिए, एक फ्रीडम की बहुत अच्छी डेफिनेशन है, और वो डेफिनेशन ये है कि माई फ्रीडम इज एब्सोल्यूट, बट ऑल्दो इट इज एब्सोल्यूट, इट कैनॉट एनक्रोच ऑन द फ्रीडम ऑफ माई नेबर। और मुझे लगता है कि यही फ्रीडम की डेफिनेशन है कि हर एक व्यक्ति को पूर्ण स्वतंत्रता है, लेकिन फिर भी उस स्वतंत्रता की मर्यादा यह है कि किसी की भी स्वतंत्रता दूसरे की स्वतंत्रता के ऊपर आक्रमण नहीं कर सकती, अतिक्रमण नहीं कर सकती। मेरे लिए यही स्वतंत्रता है।
पर यह स्वतंत्रता देश के नागरिक के लिए है, पर अगर देश के नागरिक को गैर नागरिक से चैलेंज मिले, मैं इलीगल्स की बात कर रहा हूं, इलीगल,
ओके,
जो महाराष्ट्र में भी काफी इनकी संख्या है, मुंबई में भी काफी इसके बारे में स्टडी भी की गई थी, TISS ने ये स्टडी की थी कि महाराष्ट्र में भी काफी इलीगल्स हैं, उस पर कोई?
देखिए, भारत में भारत के संविधान ने भारतीय नागरिक को स्वतंत्रता दी है, और भारत के संविधान ने भारतीय नागरिक को जो स्वतंत्रता दी है उसके लिए मैं बिल्कुल उसका सम्मान करता हूं, और उस स्वतंत्रता के लिए मैं लड़ने को भी तैयार हूं। लेकिन बाहर के नागरिक को, जो इस देश का नागरिक नहीं है, जो इलीगल इमिग्रेंट है, उसके लिए हमारे संविधान ने कोई व्यवस्था नहीं की है। उसकी स्वतंत्रता के लिए हम किसी प्रकार की गारंटी नहीं दे सकते, और इसलिए हम लोग इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स को ढूंढ रहे हैं और ढूंढकर उनको सही ठिकाने पहुंचा रहे हैं।
अंत के 2 प्रश्न हैं एंड आई विल वाइंड अप। ये प्रश्न हमारा आपका एक नाता है सर, कुर्सी कंफर्टेबल है?
मैंने आपको बार बार बताया कि कुर्सी जो मिल जाए उसको कंफर्टेबल समझना चाहिए। देखिए, मैं आपको बोलता हूं कि जो भी राजनीति में है उसके लिए गाना बहुत अच्छा है, जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो खो गया मैं उसको भुलाता चला गया। उसके आगे का मैं नहीं बोलता क्योंकि मैं पीता नहीं हूं सिगरेट।
हाँ, पर मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, ये तो बोल सकते।
जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, बस यही है। राजनीति में आप जो कुर्सी मिल जाए उसको कंफर्टेबल कर लो तो आपका जिंदगी ठीक होती है।
जब हम पहली बार मिले थे तब आप CM नहीं थे, MLA थे। उसके बाद जब मिले तब आप सीएम थे, फिर उसके बाद जब मिले तब आप डीसीएम थे, और फिर विपक्ष में थे, फिर वापस डीसीएम थे और अब सीएम हैं। एक साल में आपको लगता था कि आप आज ऐसे बैठ के बतौर चीफ मिनिस्टर बात करेंगे?
राजनीति में तो कुछ भी हो सकता है। जब मैं सीएम था तो ऐसा लगा नहीं कि विपक्ष नेता बनूंगा, विपक्ष नेता था तो ऐसा लगा नहीं कि मैं डीसीएम बनूंगा, डीसीएम था तो ऐसा लगा नहीं कि सीएम बनूंगा। तो राजनीति तो संभावनाओं से भरी हुई है। इसलिए मैंने कहा कि राजनीति में टेस्ट मैच जैसा पिच पर टिके रहो। जब बहुत तूफानी बॉलिंग आती है, झुककर उसको कभी डक करो, कभी प्लेड करो, और जब अपना मौका आता है और बॉल पर नजर जम जाती है तो चौके छक्के लगाओ।
तो ये मुंबई से दिल्ली का सफर है कि अभी आप मुंबई में ही हैं?
बिल्कुल मुंबई में ही खेलना है। कोई बाहर का टूर मैं देख नहीं रहा हूं, होम ग्राउंड पर ही खेलूंगा।
टू ऑल आवर व्यूअर्स, देखिए इनसे बात करते करते मैं एज हो गया हूं, लेकिन देवेंद्र फडणवीस जैसे थे वैसे ही हैं। करीब 12-15 साल से मेरा इनसे परिचय है, एंड ही इज ऑलवेज बीन लाइक ही इज, irrespective of what kursi he is occupying. So big round of applause. Thank you so much. And I must say, he has specially made time to be a part of the CNN-News18 Town Hall. He's reworked his schedule upon our personal request, and I think we'll thank you again. And you'll always be dear to the News18 family.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
A big round of applause from our audience there for Shri Devendra Fadnavis for that enriching conversation that we just had at CNN News 18 Mumbai Town Hall. I request everyone to please be seated. There's a lot more that we have lined up for you. And we are going to be making our way through the rest of this evening. So I request everyone to please take their seats again. As we thank the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra Fadnavis, I do want to take this forward, and we want to talk about Bollywood, because when we're talking about Maharashtra and Mumbai, how can we not? 20 years ago, he made his directorial debut with the thriller Zeher. Returning to being a director after 3 years, he's made his mark once again. He's lifted B-Town from a slump to prove that a simple love story that holds your hand and soothes your broken heart can emerge as a box office titan. He worked his magic and made a film that has redefined box office success. Please put your hands together for Saiyaara's director Mohit Suri as he gets in the hot seat with CNN News 18's Tavishi Paitandi. Please keep that applause going as we welcome Mohit Suri and Tavishi on stage, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the man of the hour, director of Saiyaara, a film that not just gripped the collective consciousness of the country's 20-somethings, but has garnered over 500 crores at the box office globally. Besides, of course, the hysterical ivy-dripping reactions. A big round of applause to Mohit Suri.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. It's great to be here today.
Mohit, how does this one feel? It has to be very, very special, right? What has this mind-numbing, mind-blowing response meant to you, personally and professionally?
Well, to be honest, it feels like relief. It feels relieved, and that something that you believed in, and when you started off, there were not too many people who believed in you in the genre. I don't blame them, because we came, this city, this country, we were all recovering from COVID, and no one knew what the future was like. Everyone thought there's a different new world out there, and we need to be louder, we need to be more out there. You know, OTT is taken over. People want to be digital, things have to be faster, nothing lasts forever. Yeah, and then in that I went to write this small young love story where it was classically people fall in love, where they meet, they struggle with their careers, their heart breaks. Because I just felt that no matter how digital we get, whenever the heart breaks, it hurts pretty much in the same place it always did when I was young.
In fact, people say that nobody does the heartbreak genre better than Mohit Suri. What is it with it, and why does it come so naturally and instinctively to you?
So unconsciously, I have a couple of friends in the crowd who know me since college, and I don't think they'll vouch for that part of me. That's Meghna and me went to college together, and in fact, when my wife gets into a fight with me and she gets really angry, she actually says, "You keep all your emotion for your songs and your films only. You have nothing in real life with you." But no, I just think it's about true love is only when if you don't feel the pain of losing somebody, if it doesn't hurt when someone goes away, it's not love. So I just think I mean, everyone does the rom-com and the happy part. I just try to put light on the portion when you don't have that person, or you lose that person, or you miss that person. Because I feel that strongly, and I think everyone else in this country also does.
Yeah. Mohit, you have had a very, very long and a very fruitful association with Vishesh Films. Now with Saiyaara, you have stepped into the YRF universe. Has there been a shift, if at all? And what has the shift been in terms of your experience, in terms of your approach as a filmmaker?
Well, I think the principles of making films, I mean, I must say that even though the scale of making films was very different between the two companies, Vishesh Films were much more raw and out there, and YRF has a certain amount of sheen. But the basics to the fundamentals of making movies remain the same, I think. And I think that's how it should be, which is importance to script. The script came first before the casting happened.
Right.
Making music. We didn't shoot a single day till all the songs were recorded.
Wow.
Because of the film. And just the fundamental on even the way the film was marketed or positioned. Let's talk about the content. Let's sell the story. Let's sell not the actors, because, I mean, yes, they were new. This wasn't a marketing strategy. It was just going back to traditional ways of how newcomer films were marketed. Let the film speak.
Mohit, I read in one of your previous interviews, and somewhere it was mentioned that when you first probably narrated the script of Saiyaara to Aditya Chopra, he was not very convinced. Maybe he thought that it was for a little too young. What happened in between that from not being very convinced, and this is as per your quote itself, saying that he wasn't very convinced. So what was the conversation? How did it lead up to him not being convinced, to him backing the film, and how?
No, it was actually completely the other way around. So I really had put in a lot of my voice into this film. I'd spent, I had made this sequel film, which was a studio film just before this. And I suddenly realized that in this atmosphere where everyone was blowing up cars and I was making this love story with new people. But I put in a lot of myself in writing this film along with my writer, my assistant who this is his first film, he's written that. And when I went to him and gave him the script, I actually didn't narrate to him, I gave him the script. And I remember it was the December holiday weekend post-Christmas. I sent the script to YRF, and I actually chickened out. I thought, let me confirm and give him some solutions, in the sense, provide some actors and known names, who would back me and make this film, because I was so badly wanted to make this film. It was he who called me in January, the first week, and over a period of just 1 week with holidays.
So you weren't thinking of making it with newcomers?
I wanted to make this film, although I wanted to make it with newcomers. When I wanted approval, I actually said, okay, I have these list of actors that are willing to do this film with me.
And who were these actors?
I can't mention it, it's unfair, they're friends of mine. Okay. But it was Adi sir who actually turned on and told me that, why are you making this film? I mean, my distribution team and my marketing team will be very happy that you're selling this film to me with new known faces. But I'm telling you, your film will flop if you make this film with new faces. No, with established names.
With established names.
And I said, yes, sir, I wrote it for new people, but I really want to make this film. I don't know in this market who will put in this money to make it with new people. And he said, I will do it. So it was completely the other way around, actually. And see, that's what I think film, making anything you believe in. I think this was a person who comes from a background, who's made love stories, who knew that it was about a kid falling in love the first time, and not someone who's already seen fame.
Yeah.
The narrative wouldn't work for the people who've seen it.
But surprising that you say that, because somehow when we think Mohit Suri and we say Mohit Suri films, two things are almost synonymous. One, new faces. Mohit Suri is generally known to work with new faces, and of course the music. Okay. So it's surprising that you had thought that maybe they would be established actors. So what was your thought behind? And generally when you work with new faces, clearly you don't consider that as a big risk.
Working with new faces is always very liberating, to be honest. And I'm not taking away from the fact that the established people have not helped me reach where I am today. But the stars of my life have actually been the musicians I've worked with, the singers. It's been 2 decades, but my career started off with a song like Wo Lamhe O Baatein that went everywhere in the world. 10 years later, there was a song like Tum Hi Ho that reinvented Arijit as such, reinvented and Mithun. And then 10 years after that is a song like Saiyaara, which is again a newcomer like Fahim.
Yes.
And Arslan, Tanishq is there. But the constant search to find someone new keeps me more relevant, I think, because these are people who are connected.
Yeah, because songs or your music is never really the background. It's almost another character in your films. Yes. Yeah. This deep love for music. Do you play instruments? Do you sing? Can we hear you?
No. So I've been categorically told by my daughter not to sing because I'll ruin every song. She's 10 years old, and I think she's more connected with what is right. I actually have no sur. I don't know, major, minor. I don't know scale. I don't.
You just have the ear.
When we were in college, we used to probably, go sit in a cab or sit in a rickshaw, which had a deck, because they played music. And we intentionally, purposely asked the rickshaw to take a longer chakkar so that we finish the song. I think that's how music should be heard. Yeah. It should not, you should emotionally want to keep holding on to it. You want to possess it. That's how a song is a good song. It was easier when you were making CDs and cassettes. You knew people wanted to buy them. Now with the whole streaming thing, it's become a little more difficult to judge that. But, it's amazing sometimes to see my daughter hold a cassette. And I tell her there's songs inside this.
Yeah.
And we used to play them again and again. And there's an A side and there's a B side.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see. And they're like, it's not in the air. But the feeling in the end of enjoying music has to be the same. It still has to feel like that rickshaw ride that you want to not finish. You want to hear the whole song rather than skip it or change the song. And that's the only way to listen to music, I think.
Right. Tell me, Mohit, there's this thing about multiple music directors in a film. Like you said that you first recorded all the songs and only then you started shooting. Of course, there is a thought, there is a process that you will follow while you are directing and making the film. But when you work with such varied artists who have very different tunes, very different dimensions, very different thought processes. How easy or how difficult, and somebody like you who says that I don't sing or I don't play, how difficult is it yet comes up with probably some of the best music that the industry and the country has seen so far?
So it's a nightmare, and I don't suggest anyone else does that. So if anyone's thinking you're using multiple things. No, the thing is, when I started off, I was directing my first film when I was 22. And at that time, I had long hair and thin, scrawny guy. And when I came down, most people didn't take me seriously. They didn't think a director came down. They kept looking for the director to still come down. So I don't blame a lot of senior.
You were in Krish Kapoor mode.
Yeah, I was exactly like Krish Kapoor, I think. So most people didn't want to work with me at that time because the senior ones, because they probably, I don't blame them. They didn't think I knew my job or whatever. So out of an inability, I actually went out and found these young guys like Mithun and who's 19 and all these people, and got an ensemble number of musicians together. But what was really good over there at that time was I was someone who went out and hung out in clubs and coffee shops and places, and that's where I knew there was a DJ like Suketu who had done an album like Bin Tere Sanam, and so I knew remixing the song would work because we used to see that happening, and everyone didn't do that. At that time, people used to remix only old songs. No one remixed new songs. But I had an edge because I was connected at that time. So I just put it all together, and it worked. The same thing happened for the second film. And then what was your limitation turned and became your strength. So I am not against working with one music director, but my greed or my need for good music, if one person can give it to me, I'm more than happy. But I keep it open so that if multiple people can give it. And I love this, I love that process where you're sitting and jamming and you're sitting with people, and what's amazing, like for example, the Saiyaara title track, there are these boys from Kashmir who I hear one song called Ishq in the indie circuit. And I'm like, call this boy down. He brings along his partner they've come for 14 days to Mumbai to try their luck. The last time Arslan was working on the Atal Setu between Leh, Ladakh and Kashmir as a civil engineer.
Wow.
He's given himself 14 days. He comes and he meets Tanishq Bakshi, who is from Bengal, who introduces him to Mohit Suri. I make them meet Irshad Kamal, who's from Punjab, and we jam together and we make something in the air, which is the Saiyaara title track. I think it's the most amazing process, isn't it? So I just love that whole...
Ladies and gentlemen, I think a big hand for Mohit Suri for introducing some fantastic talents to the industry, to the country. And it's not just the actors here. We know it right now. Mohit, from Zeher to Saiyaara, you've come a long way as a filmmaker. While, of course, your journey as a filmmaker has I'm sure there has been a lot of growth. You have also worked with some of the most wonderful other filmmakers, somebody like a Mahesh Bhatt, somebody like an Anurag Basu. And I hear that with both of them, you share very, very special bonds and very special relationships. Tell us a little about Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, and of course with Anurag Basu.
So I got to work with Mr. Bhatt after he had quit making movies. Like he retired. He was still he was creatively producing. So I could never see him in action on the set. But the best part of Mr. Bhatt is he will never get into your film or into your script. He will always it's like he brings the best out in me or in Anurag or in anyone. He will do something so unusual, and that's just everything. Like for example, there's a scene in Saiyaara where Krish's father lands up at his workplace with the police, and he gets violent with him and throws him. And I remember I was staging that scene in Yash Raj in the conference room with the actors, and I kind of got dramatic myself. And I came out of the conference room, and I suddenly saw all the staff was looking at me because I was screaming and shouting and stuff like that inside.
Which is unlike you.
I got into the character, yeah, I think. And when I went down, I don't know whether most people have seen this, but there's a really good statue of Mr. Yash Chopra at the entrance of Yash Raj Films.
Yes.
So I thought, am I going a little too dramatic? I mean, you know, we come from different backgrounds. And so at 7 in the morning next day, I was going to shoot the scene. I sent a missed call to Bhatt Saab, Mahesh Bhatt, and he called. He's up at 4 in the morning, and he called me up, and I said, I'm feeling unsure. They're very nice people here, Bhatt Saab. I think I'm getting a little too dramatic and he has no idea about my script. All I told him is a scene where the son gets violent with his father because he's an alcoholic, and Bhatt Saab just cut me off, and he said a couple of swear words to me. That's him. And
That's him, yeah.
I didn't realize that my profile picture was a picture of my son's hand in my hand.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Yeah, and he just said that if anyone, the way you holding your son's hand in a close-up, the kind of emotion you feel towards your son, no matter how you go shoot this scene, it's never going to have a wrong emotion in it.
Wow.
The son and father bond is too pure for you. How can the same person who has a DP like this even ask me this question? Go shoot it the way you want. And he was right, because that was the first scene that I think one of the few scenes that Adi sir really liked so much in the film. So I think that's what he is, you know, and whether it's him or it's Anurag.
And the minutest details that he has noticed.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know the script, but he notices these things, but he notices, and he knows my equation with my father, so he knew the person that I am, and no matter what you do, a shot cannot, no one else can take away the truth that is there behind the camera, actually. But, you know, whether it's him or it's Anurag or it's even guys like Love Ranjan, and Adi sir, I'm sorry, I'm like just saying everyone's names. The thing is, my aim in life over here is to work with some really great people, and I'm so happy I'm getting to do that. It's not, I mean, there is the money, it's super, but, you know, just hanging out with people. Like I was in the 8th grade seeing Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge in the theater in Gaiety Galaxy, and I called my dad to see it again, and I bought a ticket in black to see the film. And I saw that film and said, I want to be a director, is when I saw that film.
Yeah.
And imagine working for him today. That was a big moment for me myself. It was a fanboy moment for me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Wow. Talking about these strong emotional bonds and the connects, Mohit, your films often carry a very, very strong emotional core, right? But while working commercially, how do you find that balance? And purely as a filmmaker, how do you find that balance of presenting such an emotional film and yet making it commercially viable?
You know, we can lie and cheat and say, oh, no matter what we are, but I must give credit for this to my wife. She's someone I was dating since my first film. Correct. And I'm married to now for the last 12 years. I hope I've got that right. Yeah. But no, it's not that. It's that person who lets you be. I think what's very important for us creative people is someone lets us be the mad people that we are. And I promise you it's not easy being there.
Wow. Lovely. Before we wrap up, Mohit, very quickly, I will do a very quick rapid fire round with you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. One film of yours that never got its due. You tell me your pick and then I will tell you what I feel.
Avarapan.
Avarapan, right. a contemporary filmmaker whose work makes you envious.
Anurag Basu.
Udita's favorite film of Mohit Suri.
Damn, I've never thought of that.
And she has been with you since before the...
Yeah, I think she likes Saiyaara quite a lot. You know what she did? It was very funny. She purposely saw it before because when she has a trial of her own, she only invites doctors, lawyers, and teachers for the children. She checked it out if it's a good film, then only she invited them. Otherwise, she wasn't going to show them the film.
But any particular...
Loved it, yeah, she did. Saiyaara.
Saiyaara, okay. If there is one film that could encapsulate everything that Mohit Suri stands for, and he wants to show his children, just to understand who he is as a filmmaker, which one would
I haven't reached there yet.
you have?
I haven't reached there.
Is there a wish list of actors? Anybody, maybe a particular Khan who you would want to work with, or any other big star that you would really want to work with in future?
Not at all. I don't have those aspirations to work with someone. I just want to make films that touch everybody, I think.
Of all the brilliant music that you have presented and brought in for us, which is that song which is your favorite, or where you can just say, this is me, this is Mohit?
I have to give credit to Wo Lamhe Wo Baatein. It was my first hit. I was 24. It's something that set the bench so high that I've always tried to live up to that. So your first film, your first hit song, it's the first one that made me realize that I know what I'm doing. So yeah, it has to be Wo Lamhe Wo Baatein, I think.
Wonderful. And on that beautiful note, thank you so much, Mohit, for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. And thank you so much for giving us the biggest hit for the longest time.
Thank you so much. Means a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mohit Suri.
Keep that applause going. Thank you so much, Mohit Suri and Tavishi, for that conversation. Moving on now from emerging Bollywood stars to the next generation of politicians. Leaders who blend the wisdom of tradition and the courage to challenge status quo. Their work is shaping policies that resonate with the dreams of the youth of Maharashtra. Their fresh ideas and bold vision reshapes Maharashtra's tomorrow today. Moderating this session is Anand Narasimhan. Let's welcome our young visionary leaders, Nitesh Rane, Minister of Ports Development of Maharashtra, and Yogesh Kadam, Junior Minister for Home, Revenue, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. Please put your hands together.
Two young, very dynamic leaders, viewers, and two contrasting personalities. One says it as it is and wears his heart on his sleeve. The other one does his work quietly behind the scenes. So that's how it is. But thank you very much for joining us, Nitesh and Yogesh. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Let me first ask you, since you're the one who does not speak so much, so with your kind permission, Nitesh, if I may do that, how's it being the son of such an illustrious politician and then stepping into governance and government?
See, basically, we've seen politics since we were 5, and we understand politics. And of course, we both are fathers; they have same energy. Both our fathers. There was a period when we both were against to each other, but now we both are working together. So politics keeps changing. That is what something we have learned. And coming from him, he was always aggressive. He's still aggressive personality. And those days in 90s, Shiv Sena needed aggression for the survival of Marathi people in Maharashtra, in Mumbai. So I think we have learned also a lot from him. And at home, yes, we have seen him sacrifice a lot. Both of us, in fact, I think he would agree with me. And that sacrifice has always inspired us. And that is where the energy comes from.
So like you said, both of you are opposing each other, and there have been shifts of political alliances. So when the shift happened within the Shiv Sena, how easy or tough was it for you? And did you agree with it?
It was not easy at all. I'll tell you, I still remember taking this decision. Of course, I was confused whether to go with Eknath Shinde or not. He was absolutely right. I still feel, I never felt that he has taken any wrong decision. For Shiv Sena's survival, he had to take that decision. Otherwise, we would have been finished. Shiv Sena would have been finished because we had gone in alliance with Congress. That was not Balasaheb Thackeray's ideology. If a young person like me feels it, I think that is something which I listen to my heart. I still remember it was 21st June 2021. I took the decision at 2 o'clock at night. I called Aditya Thackeray at 2:30 at night. I told him, there is still time. You all should still handle this in the right way. Call Eknath Shinde, call him back. We should listen to it. We should go back with BJP. That's a natural alliance. And we should break alliance with Congress. They did not listen. And I took my decision. And I'll tell you, amongst the 50 MLAs, I was the youngest one. It was my first term. And still I took the decision. Why would I take such a huge risk? If it is my first term, no first term MLA would take this decision. But I took that decision because I felt it's the right thing to do.
But Aditya says उन्होंने कोई compromise नहीं किया ideology से.
नहीं,
अभी
compromise
तो थोड़ी देर पहले बोल के गए हो.
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. I think when NCB joined us, I'm again mentioning, NCB joined us, we did not go to Congress. We did not go to them and ask them, okay, let's make an alliance, let's form a government. See, Shiv Sena, I think Balasaheb ji ne, his whole life he fought against Congress. How can we join hands with them? We would rather stay alone. Okay, not getting along with BJP, we would stay alone, fight alone, but not with Congress. That is not something which we have learned from our childhood. I think ideologically it was not accepted. We were not able to accept it. And if Balasaheb was alive today, I am 100% sure he would have never gone to Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi ji, which is happening nowadays. Uddhav ji is going to Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi ji, to meet Rahul Gandhi ji. Ask any Shiv Sainik from Mumbai whether they accept that, whether they agree with that. Uddhav ji going, Shiv Sena leader, an ex-Shiv Sena leader, going to Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi ji. Whether a Shiv Sainik would accept that or not, I think the answer would be no.
अभी BMC का चुनाव आएगा तो शिवसैनिक जवाब देंगे वोट की तरह and they will also judge that, and I think they have made their choices clear in the recent assembly elections also. But this is the other side, Nitesh ji, for you, है ना? That from the political spectrum, your opposing sides, now you've come to a position where your father is a union minister, but you've been steadfast on the lines of Hindutva. So how's it been for you coming from a political family?
See, that whole thing, the common thread has always been Hindutva here. For 39 years, we were with Hindu Hriday Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray ji and his ideologies. If it was not Uddhav ji and his entire courtier who he hangs around with his kitchen cabinet, we would have never had to go to Congress. He pushed us out. But now, coming back to Bharatiya Janata Party and, with the whole Hindutva ideology, it feels like home. So, because we are with our core ideology right now, it's absolutely, it's very easy for us, to work, and very easy for us to connect with people even more better, because that's our core, and that's always been our core ideology, basically. And coming from a political background, I always feel the beginning is always easy because we've got a stepping platform always. But we have to show that consistency because we have a burden all the time on our shoulders with the kind of work our fathers have done. They are expecting everything that our fathers have done, that we have to walk the same path. So that consistency is always something that people like me, him, and all of us have to look at it.
But be it Ramdas Kadam ji or Narayan Rane ji, tall leaders, and they will set up the benchmark. आपने तो बहुत close quarters से देखा होगा. Has politics changed from that generation to your generation, and how has it changed?
It has definitely changed because there is no communication now between the political fraternity as per se. Before, there used to be basic communication at least, even if there used to be political enemies. political competitors, but there used to be no enemies there. They used to connect with each other. I remember when my father was the opposition leader and the late Vilasrao Deshmukh ji was the chief minister, they used to fight they used to fight each other or criticize each other rather politically in the house. But then and during lunch time, they used to be sitting with each other having like lunch from the same tiffin box, But that doesn't happen right now ever, because now there is no connect. Everyone has their own sides. We are very clear that there is no communication at all. I think that is if we want to take something from the older times to our generation, I think that is something that we should take.
Do you ever have differences? When you have differences on how to approach a certain issue between your dad and yourself, एक विषय आया सामने और आपका एक मत है और उनका एक मत है, तो फिर who prevails on how to handle it?
वो पिताजी है तो he only prevails, घर पे रहना है, दूसरा ऑप्शन नहीं है. मगर good part about my father is that he listens. I'm sure he has his own version also, but my father, he listens, he understands. But in our house, always the last decision is always with him. But he listens to us. He understands our view also, where we are coming from. And now we became a minister. I think he's the biggest guidance that I have.
What about you? In your case?
Yeah, of course, we do discuss. But I would also say that he has given us the freedom. At least he has given me the freedom. He never interferes in my decision makings. He will tell me, he will try and tell me, okay, this is something, this is my point of view, but decision you should take. Whether right or wrong, if it's wrong, you learn from it. If it's right, you move on. So I think that approach is very positive. The freedom, that matters a lot. In family, there should always be discussion. The discussion should always be there. And that thing, that is always there. And even while, like when we took the decision to go with Eknath Shinde ji, we had a discussion. We had a healthy discussion. And eventually he left the decision to me. When I took the decision and I left that night. But I think, yes, we do talk. Even my brother is into politics. We do sit together. My wife is also like very keen. And as family, we do discuss issues. And because, see, eventually, us being in politics, every decision of ours does have impact on our family. So I think the discussions in family matters a lot because eventually that's going to have an impact on them. But yes, my father, he has always given me freedom to take decisions.
But has that also stopped now? Pehle aisa hota tha na, family would never get involved. No matter how intense or fierce the politics gets or the rivalry gets, the family was never brought in. But in this day and age of social media, etc., you think the families also get targeted?
Yeah, because that's the level of politics that has become. First it used to be very, kept into the limits. Now obviously because social media and obviously because certain people choose to cross the line. That's why they would like to comment on families also. When they do not have the audacity or the courage to face you on the ground, all they can go is through the weaker option of, targeting the family. So I think that is something like that our generation has to face right now.
Okay, let's come to your own ministries and what you're doing. What have you done for the ports? There is a lot that is happening. So can you tell us a little more?
See,
one of the issues was subletting of this contracts. People would have license in somebody's name and somebody else would be using that.
That is a major concern. When I took over the ministry, we had two straight missions in our head. One is coastal security and other is development. When you talk about coastal security, right from Mumbai to all the way to Sindhudurg, we have an 877 kilometers of coastal line. And there, when I took information and, asked my department to what exactly happens on the coastal security on the coast. So I found out that 60 to 70% of the coast was unsafe. It was, people used to make illegal religious buildings there. People used to make, spread like, जिसको बोलते हैं हरी चादर जिसको बोलते हैं हरी चादर चाहिए उधर लगा देते हैं मैंग्रोव्स के ऊपर हरी चादर डाल देते हैं तो उस तरीके की जो एक्टिविटीज जो है which are a threat to our nation, see everyone has to follow the rules and regulations of our country. If we are following the constitution as one religion, everyone else also has to follow the constitution of that religion. There are no different laws. जैसे हम डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पालते हैं और दूसरे जन यहाँ पे सिर्फ शरिया कानून पालते, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. पाकिस्तान में चलेगा, यहाँ नहीं चलेगा. तो इसलिए वो सारी चीजें जब हम लोग के नजर में आई तो वी वर वेरी क्लियर कि वी वांट टू क्लियर दिस डर्ट.
तो वहां पे आपको सिर्फ वो हरी चादर और जो ये नजर आते हैं कि अगर कोई वहां पर देवी देवता का भी मूर्ति लगा के कुछ कर रहा है तो उसको भी
हमारे हिंदू ऐसा कभी कोई गलत काम करते नहीं है. वो करने वाले दाढ़ी वाले और गोल टोपी वाले ही रहते. दैट इज द एक्सपीरियंस दैट एवरीवन हैज, बिकॉज उनको ही वो जिहाद करके उनका रिलीजन बढ़ाना है. हमको हिंदुओं को करने की जरूरत नहीं क्योंकि हम हिंदू राष्ट्र में ही रहते.
But when you take a position like this, are you seen as pro-Hindutva or Islamophobic or anti-Muslim?
The whole fact is, if I'm staying in a country which has 90% of Hindus, if I stay in a country which is known as a Hindu Rashtra, if I'm talking about my own religion, there is no harm in it. And if someone wants to do jihad in my country, someone wants to turn my country into an Islamic nation, obviously I have the right to object. And there are in number of incidences that I know or I've come through. He must be, I'm sure, getting to know better because he's handling the home.
That's what I was going to say. Does it roll over into your department because your MO is home urban? Yeah, so please complete it.
That's the kind of, so that is the whole point. If you want to live with the rule of the law of the country, there are certain rules that are set for everyone. जब भी हम सर्व धर्म समभाव बोलते हैं तो वो सिर्फ हिंदुओं को लागू नहीं होता, सबको लागू होता है. हमारे जब त्योहार आते हैं तब हमको 10 बजे बंद करना है, हमको 12 बजे बंद करना है, मगर मुहर्रम और ईद 3-3 बजे तक डीजे बजता है. ये ऐसा नहीं चलेगा देश में. अभी हमारी सरकार यहाँ है, देवेंद्र जी मुख्यमंत्री है, होम मिनिस्टर है, हमारे पास योगेश कदम जी तो हार्डलाइन हिंदुत्व वाले, हमारे पास गृह राज्य मंत्री है. तो मुझे विश्वास है कि हमारा डीजे 10 बजे बंद होगा तो मुहर्रम भी 10 बजे ही बंद होगा.
योगेश कदम जी.
नहीं, बिल्कुल. See, I agree with him on one thing. Law is like, if we should, sitting on this chair, we should see everyone from the same line. And if someone is breaking the law, we are bound to take the action. And number speaks. I'll just give an example. Honorable High Court given an order. Illegal speakers should be removed. In Mumbai, I think in last 4.5 months, we have removed almost 650 illegal speakers. Out of that, 600, around 580 to 600 from the mosques. I think temples, around 10 to 11. The number speaks. So if there is something, if there are certain people who are taking the law for granted, we are bound to take the action, and we are going to take the action. Again, but we did not, we also removed the speaker from the mandirs, but then the number is such high on one end, what it feels like 580 ke mosque pe se nikal diya. No, they will try and make a propaganda about it. No need. We are just following the law. You are supposed to follow the law. Just follow the rules. And I think we can easily avoid this tiff between Hindu and Muslim if we just follow the law.
But of late, the discourse is not even Hindu or Muslim. It is about Marathi or non-Marathi. Now, this entire language issue that came, you were quite vocal about what your position was.
That's only the way, or that's only the propaganda in order to split the Hindus. First, sometimes they go on caste, sometimes they go on language. उनको हिंदुओं को बांटना है. इसलिए जब हमारे पंतप्रधान मोदी जी बोलते हैं एक है तो सेफ है, इसलिए तो वो स्लोगन इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि हिंदुओं को बांटने के लिए बहुत सारे तरीके अपनाए जाते हैं. उसमें ये लैंग्वेज का रो है. अगर आप एक गरीब हिंदू को जाके बोलेंगे कि तू मराठी ही बोल, तो फिर वही मराठी आप मोहम्मद अली रोड और बहरामपाड़ा में जाके नहीं सिखाओगे क्योंकि वो लोग उल्टा तुम लोग को मारेंगे. तो इस तरीके का अगर सिर्फ हिंदुओं को ही आपको टारगेट करना है, उनके ही मुंह से मराठी सुननी है, बाकी के मुंह से मराठी सुननी ही नहीं है और उनको मराठी बोलनी भी नहीं है, तो फिर इस तरीके की राजनीति ये सिर्फ फिर हिंदुओं को तोड़ने के लिए दिखेगी ना. अगर आप एक नियम लगाओगे जो सबको लागू होता है तो उसको फिर आप बता सकोगे कि हाँ ठीक है ये मराठी के लिए रियली सच्ची में कोशिश कर रहे. मगर आप सिर्फ हिंदुओं को अलग नियम लगाओगे और बहरामपाड़ा में जिसको मराठी बोलना ही नहीं उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं बोलोगे तो फिर उसको मराठी के लिए लड़ना नहीं बोलते.
Agree, disagree?
No, see, I definitely agree with him, but you also need to understand one point of view. जैसे ही मुंबई और थाना के कॉर्पोरेशन इलेक्शन खत्म होंगे, जो लोग ये इशू उठा रहे हैं, वो लोग ये इशू भी खुद भी भूल जाएंगे. This is only happening, they are only raising this issue to gather Marathi voters in Mumbai and in Thane. They have only been active regarding this issue only in Mumbai and Thane. Why they are not doing it in Nagpur? Why they are not doing it in Amravati? Why they are not doing it in Nashik? They only want to target Marathi voters in Mumbai. They only want to target Marathi voters in Thane. They want to create a perception, a fake narrative that our government is against Marathi. And I think they are trying to do that, but I think people know what we are doing for Marathi. We never said that Marathi is our second priority. Marathi is compulsory in Maharashtra. It will be compulsory in Maharashtra. You should know Marathi in Mumbai, if you're living in Maharashtra. Okay, if you're not able to speak, don't insult it. Don't disrespect it. That is what we expect. But I think this issue, few people only want to create a fake narrative against and want the Marathi voters to go against us, and they want to show that we are the messiahs of the Marathi people, and for the corporation, you all should vote for us because we saved the Marathi, and that is it. I think once the corporation election will be over, this issue will be forgotten.
But the one basic thing I would just like to add what he's saying.
Sure.
हमको भी तो मराठी लोग भी वोट करते हैं ना. हमको क्या पाकिस्तान से वोट करने आते हैं क्या? हम मराठी वोटों की से वजह से हम एमएलए और इधर मंत्री बन के बैठे हैं. और दूसरी बात, 9 और 10 महीने पहले जब भी विधानसभा का चुनाव हुआ, तभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी, शिवसेना, एनसीपी, हमारे अजीत दादा की, हमको लैंडस्लाइड मेजॉरिटी मिली है. बिगेस्ट मैंडेट दैट महाराष्ट्र हैज एवर गॉट. महायुति हैज गॉट दैट, एंड पीपल ऑफ महाराष्ट्र हैव ओनली वोटेड फॉर अस. मराठी पीपल ओनली हैव वोटेड फॉर अस. तभी एक को 20 दिया है, दूसरे को 0 दिया है. और हमको 132 दिया है, इनको 60-70 दिया है. तो फिर जिनके बारे में ये लोग बात करते, वो तो हमको वोट करके तो बैठे हैं. इनका पब्लिक सपोर्ट इसमें से समझ जाता है ना.
बट वो भी वोट चोरी कह रहे हैं कि वोट कहीं से ऐड हुआ है. दोज आर नॉट वोट्स.
फिर वोट जिहाद क्या है? फिर उनके जब भी सांसद चुन के आए लोकसभा के वक्त, तभी उनको सांसद के कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में, बाकी सब विधानसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में वो पीछे हट होती है. मगर जहां मोहल्ले ज्यादा रहते हैं वही उनको 100% वोट मिलता है. तो उसको वोट जिहाद बोलेंगे नहीं. और उसके अंदर कितने बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्या है जिन्होंने उनको वोट किया है, उसको क्या कहेंगे फिर?
But that again rolls back onto you, right? आप सरकार में हैं. What are you doing about the Bangladeshi and Rohingya? Your MO is home urban. Are you trying to say that in urban Maharashtra there are no illegals? And if they are there, what is being done?
See, first of all, illegal Bangladeshi migrants, this issue is not something which we are handling today. Yes, recently we have been, the center government also guided us regarding this issue. But they have been migrating in India for last more than 20 years, more than 25 years in fact. Now, whose vote bank is that? Even when Congress was in government, they were migrating in India. They did not do anything about it because they were getting their votes. They did not care whether they're Bangladesh or West Bengal. So I think, but today we have been taking very strict action. I think if you see last 4 years numbers, we have been able to, we have done a lot of combing operations. And in those operations, we have found a lot of illegal migrants from Bangladesh and we have deported them. There is a due process which we are following. And I think that is a threat to India, a big threat to India, and we do realize it. And we are working on it, yes.
Since we talk about threat to Bharat, ports, entry, 2611 happened from there. Narcotics, a huge amount is coming, and it is coming from these small docks in these areas. ये आपके संज्ञान में है? Are you doing something about it?
As I rightly said, we are working on 2 missions here. First is obviously development through ports, increasing the employment, promoting water transport and all these aspects. Second is coastal security. When you talk about coastal security, as I said, we are scrutinizing everything that is happening on our coast. For example, on Gateway of India, there is a lot of boats that you see parked there. There are wooden parked there. As you rightly said, the licenses that have been given to them, we are cross-checking each and every person of them. Sometimes you see कि licenses on a Hindu name, चलाने वाला कोई दूसरा अब्दुल होता है उधर. तो वो सब चीज हम लोग we are scrutinizing in a very minute way. Same thing when there was a war-like situation, with the instructions of the central government, with the instructions of the state government, as port department, we ensured that every fisherman on our coastline, right from Mumbai to Sindhudurg, Ratnagiri, Raigad, everyone's voting card ID was checked, because Aadhaar card sometimes is unreliable, that's what they say. But voting card registration is something that we took up, and we ensured that everyone who is there on the coast is from our soil. Someone who is not from our soil, we inform the Home Department, we inform the concerned authorities, and we ensure they are thrown out from there. So we are ensuring, we have drones introduced on our coast from the 9th of January 2025. We have around 8 drones which are looking over the entire coast of our Maharashtra. Every single activity that happens on the coast, we have a control room in our Fisheries Commissioner office. We get to know about it. As soon as we see something which is sensitive, as soon as we see something which does not fall into the rule book, we report it and we ensure action is taken. So I am ensuring I can ensure from your channel itself that our coast, we are ensuring that our coast is as safe as possible. We are doing everything to ensure no one looks at Mumbai, no one looks at Maharashtra from the wrong eye. Incidences like 26/11 has taught us a lot. When terrorists come in, without internal support, they are not going to come in.
Yeah.
We are ensuring that there is no internal support there. We want to know anyone who is working on our coast, anyone who is standing on our coast, we know who is there. We know the background. We know the character of the person. We know if he is lying to us or if he is not hiding his identity. We are looking into everything in that aspect.
So if you're keeping the port secure, are you using it for connectivity? So down, southward towards Ratnagiri and along the coastline further down, and also little towards the north above Mumbai, is there connectivity that's being built?
See, our Chief Minister has been very clear that he wants to promote the water transport in a very large way. So 2 aspects that we are working on as a port department is we are starting on the basis of Kochi Water Metro. We are starting a Mumbai Water Metro in the MMR region of Mumbai by December 2026.
Wow.
Starting 3 routes. We have already at the DPR stage. By October, November, we should have our DPR. And by December 2026, we should have 3 routes ready. And eventually, we'll have 6 where you can reach anywhere within the city through the waterway. Second is we are introducing M2M ferry, which is like a Ro-Ro service. Now the Ro-Ro takes you from Mumbai to Alibag, Mumbai to Elephanta, where you can put your car inside, where you can also go as a passenger. So I think most probably by next week, before the Ganesh Chaturthi, we are trying to start the service where you can go from Mazgaon to Ratnagiri in 3 hours in that Ro-Ro, and Mazgaon to Sindhudurg, Sindhudurg in 4.5, 5 hours. So that's the service as we are trying to introduce.
So the infrastructure for ingress and egress, that means to get onto the Ro-Ro and to get off it, has that also been put in place?
If you go to Vijayadurg in Sindhudurg, where the Ro-Ro is going to land, he said we have got an entire infrastructure ready. We'll have 150 cars in it. We'll have 500 passengers. As ports department, we're getting the entire infrastructure ready.
But the Arabian Sea in this region for about 6-7 months of the year is quite choppy. So safety issue,
Right. We are getting all the safety checks done, IRS and DG shipping. We are in regular touch with the Central Shipping Ministry and us. We are ensuring all the safety measures have been taken. The Ro-Ro, the big M2M ferry that we are going to use, now also is working from here to Alibag. It's working very safely. So it's a very advanced kind of vessel. So I don't think any issues will happen.
Mumbai to Ratnagiri in 3 hours, you're saying?
Yes.
I'll take it. The next time I want to come down to that area.
Next time you want to call Yogesh ji to your channel, you should have to inform him at 2 o'clock. He sits in the Ro-Ro at 3 o'clock at Ratnagiri, comes there at 6.
But how much is that going to cost us?
Let's wait for the Chief Minister to announce. We don't want to lose our jobs.
But petrol और जितना time लगता है उससे सस्ता रहेगा.
कम ही होगा, तो राइड भी थोड़ा कम बम्पी होगा बेसिकली।
Right.
लोग दोनों थोड़ा नेशनल हाईवे से कनेक्टेड वाले एमएलए है, कोकण वाले, तो हम वाटर ट्रांसपोर्ट से आपको कम गड्ढों के थ्रू जाना पड़ेगा, पीठ के भी परेशानी नहीं होगी।
तो चलिए एक काम करते हैं, अगला कॉन्वर्सेशन हम रो पे ही करेंगे, साथ में मिलके फर्स्ट जर्नी विल डू, और टाइम करेंगे कितना टाइम लगता है।
मोर देन वेलकम।
Well, okay. So Ratnagiri, that is done. But now let's come back to another issue which I wanted, narcotics. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, all the police and the commissioners, they report into you and into the Home Ministry. One of the biggest issues in Mumbai is narcotics. What is your plan to curb that? And it's just evolving. It's not just heroin, it's not just cocaine, it's going to MDMA, meth, and now far more advanced chemical drugs which are coming in. So your thoughts?
See, first of all, we needed to address what are the issues regarding the narcotics. Earlier there used to be only ganja, but now there are chemical drugs. And I'll tell you the number is shocking. 98% of the peddlers are now into chemical drugs. The issue is chemical drug is easy, very easy to make. I'll just give an example. 3 months ago, we raided a house in Malad, Maloni. In the slum area, there were 4 women. They were making the drug on the stove in their house. So we have realized if we can make a chemical drug on a stove in a slum area, we cannot go and check every house in Maharashtra. That is practically not possible. What Honorable CM Sir did, yes, eventually they are going to get that product out in the market. They are going to try and sell it. We'll try and curb it there at least. There are 2 issues. They are manufacturing it somewhere. They are supplying it somewhere. And then there is a consumption. We hit the supply chain. And 2 important decisions we have taken, Honorable CM Sir has taken. Now we have formed an ANTF, that is Anti-Narcotic Task Force in Maharashtra. Every police station in Maharashtra will have a dedicated team to work on drugs, to work on narcotics. They will only handle narcotic cases. We are training our staff. We are training our police constables to handle these cases, to understand the network of peddlers. And you have to understand some of the peddlers are working internationally. They have the international connection. It sometimes gets difficult if there's a connection in China, we cannot get anyone from China because we don't have a treaty with them. So yes, the supply chain we are trying to curb. And 2, the second thing, in this recent assembly only, in this rain session, we have passed a law. Now we are going to treat peddlers as terrorists, what the Makoka, what we apply to terrorists. Now peddlers, this Makoka will be liable to
on drug peddlers. So Makoka will be applicable on drug peddlers. They'll be charged under Makoka. So they'll be treated as good as terrorists.
Drug peddlers who are handling commercial quantity, they will be, we are going to enforce Makoka on them now. So we are taking very strict steps to of course curb it. Second thing, the third thing, awareness. In Mumbai especially, we are going in schools, we are going in colleges, because that is where they're trying to hit hard. And we are trying to spread the awareness as much as we can. While taking the sessions in the school, we are making sure the parents are also there. We need to see what our children are doing in the house or outside the house. If they are into drugs, we also have helpline now. We can contact the police station. But yes, Makoka and ANTF is, I think, is going to help us to catch these drug peddlers and curb it.
Well, I've got limited time, so one question I must ask. Earlier this month, you were wrapped up in some controversy. What is this entire dance bar issue in your mother's name, license and all of that? The opposition is called for your head, asking you to resign and all.
See, looking at me, do you think I must be going in dance bar? I'm a commerce graduate. I'm studying law. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm still studying. I'm in 3rd year law right now from Ratnagiri. See, that is something which opposition are just trying to pull me down. But I have decided that is something I'm not going to look into. I know I've not done anything wrong. In fact, I was the one. I remember 27th of that was date when I myself raided a dance bar in Navi Mumbai. If I had my own dance bar, would I keep it on after 2 days? Would I keep it open after 2 days? where a day before I am taking a press conference, I am warning the people who are running the dance bars that if this press conference is a warning. If you are running a dance bar, I am going to be behind you. I am going to make sure that you'll have to face the law. That is not us. That is not my income. My income is agriculture, and my income comes from a business. So I think let opposition do whatever they want to do. I am focused on my work. Honorable CM Sir and Honorable Shinde ji has given me very important 5 portfolios as an MOS. There's a lot of scope to do there. There's a lot of scope for improvement. We are working on it. There are so many good decisions which Honorable CM Sir has taken in this government. We are ensuring we are focused on our work.
So all these allegations don't bother you?
Not at all. Sir, never bother.
You have some advice. आपको तो आए रोज आपको controversy में खींचते हैं, allegations करते हैं.
हमारे कोकण में ना एक ऐसा एक saying है.
कहावत है, हाँ.
कहावत है कि जिस पेड़ के ऊपर ज्यादा आम होते हैं ना उसी पर पत्थर मारे जाते हैं. तो we know the Kadam family really well. Our fathers have come from the same Bala Saheb Thackeray kind of a mindset, kind of a school. So, and I personally know Yogesh very well. So I don't see, these are many allegations where they can't stop us. They're just going to spoil our names, Coming from families like us, we don't need to do all such petty things rather, And I think he has rightly taken a stand. He's responsibly, as you rightly introduced him, he speaks more through his work. So because he's speaking so much through his work, dogs will keep barking. Doesn't matter.
All right, final question. 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself? So after him, you've got to answer the same question.
I see myself still working for Maharashtra. I see myself still working more aggressively for Hindutva.
So you're not leaving Maharashtra and going anywhere else?
Huh?
Not leaving Maharashtra and going anywhere else? National ambitions?
That is not in my hands at all. I am a Karyakarta of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Whatever responsibility my party gives us, I am more than happy. But come what may, I might be a mantri, I might not be a mantri, I might be an MLA, I might not, but I am always be a Hindutva worker.
So Hindutva नहीं छोड़ेंगे, चाहे कुछ भी छूट जाए.
खून में, खून कैसे बाहर निकालेंगे?
All right, Yogesh.
5 years down the line, I think Mahayuti would still be there. The opportunity which we have got today is something which what we are not taking for granted. So I think we would enforce our force towards the development of Maharashtra, which we are doing today, and down the line we would be doing the same thing.
So Eknath Shinde and Dhanush Ban will be Shiv Sena, or you think some shift could happen in 5 years?
I would say Dhanush Ban is basically वो तो चिन्ह दिया गया है हमारे लिए, हमारे पार्टी को चिन्ह है. But ideology, that is what matters the most to us. Chin, I think आज हमारे पास में है. Where the ideology will lie, there the Chinna will be. So I think Shiv Sena, Dhanush Ban, Eknath Shinde, this combination, no one would be able to break.
Amazing conversation, gents, and we look forward to the Roro ride with the two of you.
Thank you.
वादा लेते हो आपको बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Nitesh ji, Yogesh ji, for joining us here at the CNN-News18 Town Hall and for that enriching conversation. We do want to move on with our evening here, and now we want to embark on a journey of ideas and inspirations to shape the future of Maximum City. And we want to do it through the people that know it best. As we look ahead to 2047, the session brings together leading voices from Mumbai on how this melting pot of cultures can retain its soul even as every inch of the city transforms. Will infrastructure, ecology, equity, education and heritage intersect to shape Mumbai's future? And how do we chart a vibrantly inclusive and sustainable path forward? To discuss that, I would like to invite Tazaka Jacob back on stage. And joining him are Meghna Pant, author, Ashok Pandit, film director and activist, and Priyam Gandhi Modi, author and activist. Please put your hands together for all three of them as they come on stage.
Thank you very much for your patience as an audience, and thank you very much to our panelists. We have a great session ahead. It's basically around, since this entire theme of the town hall has been around ballot, BMC, and the battle for Mumbai. We had the Chief Minister earlier today, we had Aaditya Thackeray earlier today, and obviously politicians will say what they have to say. You know, they're in the business of trying to convince people to vote for them. But what is the reality of Mumbai? What is the reality of the richest municipal corporation in Asia, which has 70,000 crores budget? Are the people of Mumbai getting what they deserve from the richest municipal corporation in the continent? I want to start with Ashok Pandit. Do you believe Mumbaikars are getting a fair deal? Because this whole thing is about the BMC election. It's going to happen in the next few months. Do you think this city, maximum city, financial capital, is getting what it deserves?
Thank you, Zaka, for making me a part of this great show of yours. See, I'm a very positive person, and we work on the ground, all of us. There are two ways of looking at it. One is that there's a huge development work going on in this city, where we see coastal roads, we see metros, we see flyovers, we see Atal Bridge, everything, you know, huge development going on one side. And it's good for any city for that matter. And I literally believe in dynamism of our Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis, because he does a lot of work, talks less. So I'm a personal fan of his work. Having said that, on one side we see, you know, all these developments happening, and we live in a ray of hope that the city will definitely be without any problems one day. But as a citizen of this city, a lot of things really pains us, because, you know, when we work on the ground, sometimes the system, the bureaucracy, working in BMC and system, they really tire you out, you know, when you take up issues and we try to solve those issues. And finally, sadly, we get remorse or we get solutions from the courts. We have to go to the courts. I'll give you examples why I'm saying this. See, we fight, what are the issues which really concern a common man? The biggest issue is, if you're talking about development, and in that development, if we don't have proper roads, if we don't have proper sanitations, if we don't have proper water, then that development is very, very make-up-oriented development. If there is a road in this city itself which goes from highway to airport, T2, which is a fantastic road, I can't understand why that particular road, that kind of road is not there in the city. You go to Thane, you go to Mira Road, you go to Dada, you go to anywhere where it's internally connected roads, it's tiring, it's really painful, and we feel very low when we travel on that. So that is a very big issue which is going to matter in these BMC elections. Second most important issue which we are fighting for are the open spaces. The land mafia in the city has taken over mangroves, they have taken over open spaces, they have taken over gardens, they have taken over beaches, they have taken over mountains, they have taken over rivers, they have taken over lakes, everything for that matter. And every day in and day out, we people are on the streets fighting that mafia and finally go to the court. There's an example. Bangurnagar is a very huge place in Goregaon West. The entire back road, back space, open space has been taken over by people, and illegal constructions, banquet halls, hotels, all those kind of things have been made. Now the system, that ward office, that BMC knows that this is wrong. We are fighting this battle from last 9 years, and we are not, finally we got an order from the court. Same is with Lokhandwala, same is with Jew, same is with, you know. So all these things, what really tires us is, and it's an appeal which we citizens would like to make on your platform, that there has to be a special, you know, wing, special consideration towards citizens making, you know, a kind of a thing.
Okay.
One more thing very important. I'm sorry.
Sure, please.
After Corona, we have not learned the lesson. Look at the BMC hospitals, the way hospitals are functioning. All the doctors, overtime, nurses, overtime, huge. I know population is there. But the system in municipal hospitals, the way patients are treated, the way things are happening, availability of medicines, it's not there. So basic human needs have to be fulfilled, which we are finding lot of trouble. Accountability is not there as far as bureaucracy is concerned. There is a Metis river scam. There is a comedy of errors. As a filmmaker, I'll tell you. There was a bridge which got international fame called Gokhale Bridge, which is in Andheri. Two sides didn't match. So accountability of the BMC officers or all the architects, all the officers has to be there.
Yeah.
Somebody filed an RTI. It's a major scam where people suffered. It was thanks to our MLA there, Amit Satam, that we came to know that bridge is going to fall. And the penalty which was given by the system to those officers was just 5,000 rupees.
Wow.
They should have been sacked. They should have been behind the bars. But there's no accountability. So no accountability is really making a lot of problems to common people, common citizens like us.
So one thing which Mr. Pandit said, which I think is true of Mumbai, and it's true across a lot of cities, and I want Priyam Gandhi Modi to weigh in on this. If you came to Mumbai 5 years ago or 10 years ago, for example, I keep visiting, for the last 25 years I've been visiting Mumbai. Last few times, to go from the airport to Colaba, to do it in 30 minutes, it would have been unthinkable 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So, hats off. Coastal Road or, Sea-Link, all of that. But at the same time, as he pointed out, the internal roads, and I have this statistic, and I was astounded when my research team provided us with this information. So just in this monsoon season, and obviously monsoon season is the worst for the roads because of the potholes and so on, just in the months of June and July, the number of complaints that have come to the BMC portal, BMC has opened a portal for potholes, is 7,083. 40% of this 7,000 complaints have come from just 3 wards. 3 wards across Mumbai city. How does one explain this contradiction? You have on the one side, fantastic Coastal Road and Sea-Link. On the other, you have, potholes, 7,000 complaints for potholes.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. And great question, potholes. We're all very sensitive about it. But let me rewind a bit. I do think that, let us consider that Mumbai is India's financial capital. It is our commercial capital. It's where, it contributes to 8% of our GDP. You see the Mithi River as a divider almost between the haves and the have-nots. You see, so it's a very complex city to understand. When we talk about the complaints of the potholes, let's also remember that there hasn't been an election, which means that there is no accountability on the ground. The ground level connect between people and corporators ward-wise is missing. The bureaucrats are simply not invested enough. Even if there are, there is a one-off bureaucrat who is interested, because of the different, there's MMRDA, MADA, BMC, because of all of these different organizations who think they have the piece of the pie, the accountability kind of gets spread and just basically shoved off from one's shoulder to the other. In my opinion, the central point to fix here would be to govern the city in a more centralized fashion. It should directly come under one authority who is willing to take all of the accountability and hold these other organizations to
like
task.
A city government.
It should. Yeah, and the mayor should be accountable. It shouldn't just be an exchange of corporators when political discussions happen. Itni seatein iski, tumko corporator banayenge, tumko. So that's not working.
But here's the thing. At least with corporators, I know the BMC election has not happened. It's been due for a few years now. at least with elected officials, there is a degree of accountability once in 5 years. That's how, democracy functions. The problem here is also officials who are unelected. And many times they are the ones who are responsible. He was talking about BMC officials, officials in these various agencies. How do those people get held accountable, other than, of course, through courts? Courts, that's a, long-term resort. Courts take their time. But there has to be fundamental accountability of bureaucrats.
So Mumbai being such a big contributor to Maharashtra as well as the country, I think here we have a very decisive chief minister. We have a very decisive government that sees Mumbai as a inseparable part of India's Viksit Bharat journey. And to take it to that scale, I feel that if this is administered and, happens under the watch of a chief minister like Mr. Fadnavis, you've seen the speed and scale of his work, I think that a lot of these problems can be fixed.
The other issue which we don't talk about because it's not very glamorous to talk about it on television, but I think it's a serious issue, whether in Mumbai or any other city, is garbage, open dumping of garbage. I believe last month, the minister in charge for this, Uday Samant, he said, a comprehensive solid waste management policy is going to be implemented to address the serious issue of waste management. The CAG, I believe, had expressed grave concern that 40% of the state's garbage or the waste that's going is largely going unprocessed or untreated. This is an extraordinary situation. I mean, it leads to disease, it leads to even issues like stray dogs, which has become a huge talking point in Delhi, and I'm sure it is here in Mumbai as well. How can garbage be left untreated in open fields, on the sides of roads?
I think, first of all, thanks for having me, but I'll give you a more poetic version of Mumbai since I'm an author. I'll just step back a bit and say, for me, Mumbai is like a mother. एक माँ जो शायद आपको गोद ना ले, पर वो आपको कभी भूखा नहीं सोने देगी. You may not make sona here, chandi here, or even paisa here, but this city, when you're losing, जब आप हार गए हो, this city will catch you कि जिंदगी कैसे जीते हैं. And I think that is what the spirit of Mumbai has always been about, that survival. And I want at the end of this discussion that Mumbai, it should not have such a low benchmark. Survival is not the end game. Thriving is the end game. And I think now that we're talking about 2047 India, we have 100 years of celebration of our great nation. And Mumbai is, as you mentioned, the financial capital. And I think we have now 20 years, 2 decades plus, to ensure that our city, our beautiful city, with all its flaws and all its, measures that we have to take to make it greater than it already is, I think let's not focus on surviving the city, but thriving in it. And in terms of infrastructure, of course, we have so many issues, even women's safety, even, funding for artists, for example. You had mentioned roads earlier. The largest civic project that had been undertaken by the government for, I think, $700 million for road infrastructure. You compare it to, say, a place like, say, Beijing. Just alone there, it's 100 times more, the investment in infrastructure. So, of course, you're hearing of a crumbling infrastructure, even though there have been such massive developments. The trains are overcrowded. Every day, hearing of fatalities there. And we have so many steps that we have to take forward. But I would honestly focus a lot on this sort of collective vigilance also that Mumbaikars have. Say with regards to women's safety. Now, I'm not a native Mumbaikar. I'm a Pahadi, Meghna Pant. My dad's from Nainital, my mom's from Shimla. I was born there, and I actually grew up in Delhi and then moved to Mumbai because my parents had a government job. But the way the city has embraced me, the way it has not let me fall at any point in my life, the way it has not just embraced but celebrated it. So in this city, you need talent, you need a lot of grit, but it will give you what you want. So I think if we focus all our, we have BMC funding for infrastructure, we have the MMRDA, the MTPU, and all of that, but we need to give it some time to develop. We're seeing massive developments. I've never seen my city like this in the last 30 years that I've lived here, but yet there are steps to be taken forward. But let's also talk about women's safety in all of this, as well as funding for artists, because, you know...
Women's safety, I mean, Mumbai was considered, at least at one point of time, the safest city for women. I mean, women could take the local...
But again, you know, we should not...
At 1 a.m. and so on.
Of course, and I've grown up, by the way, driving at 4 a.m. I don't know about you, Priyam, but never felt unsafe. But we are also, I think, now in a bubble world where we're privileged enough to have private transportation. But ask the common woman out there, when I was taking trains and buses when I was in college, there's a lot of eve teasing, there's a lot of molestation. But one thing that sets us apart from other cities is this collective sense of vigilance that Mumbaikars have. Men and women will gather together. I don't know how many of you have had that experience, that if somebody's eve teasing you, other people around will come and, you know, almost protect you. And that's something I've seen only in Mumbai. You know, so I think that needs to be further done with our last mile connectivity, for example. Okay. There should be increased patrol, especially female, you know, cops around. Even, I don't know how many of you all use the Western Railways, the Central Railways, and you feel like they're not 100% lady coaches, are there? No, right? So I think we need all of those measures to take it forward and make women's safety a priority.
I want to sort of extend this point about the trains. I mean, for the longest time, the trains were, the local was the sort of lifeline of Mumbai. And obviously the city's grown manifold in the last 20, 30 years. And now the metro has come. But has the metro sort of adequately addressed this burgeoning traffic, this burgeoning sort of explosion of population and the need for people to travel from home to work, from work back home? Last mile connectivity that Meghna talked about. Is it best buses? Somebody, yeah, this is the statistic on best buses. 10 years ago in the greater Mumbai region, there were more than almost 5,000 buses. That has now come down to just about 500. That is a massive reduction of last mile connectivity.
See, Zaka, as far as the biggest issue of this city, and even then, the way she said that things are moving ahead, there's a lot of population which keeps on coming into the city every day. I don't think there is any other city in the country which has so much of influx of population from various parts of the country, because it's a financial country and it has a lot of attraction as far as the city is concerned. Today, you make a line of a metro from one place to another place. So by the time that metro is complete, there are 1 lakh cars which have increased. So the pace at which the growth is happening and the pace at which the population is increasing and the work is increasing is not, you know, matching at the right perspective. And that's very difficult to happen also. But seriously, you know, when one sees the condition of people, the way people, all of us, travel in local trains, there has to be serious thought which should go, which is with the center, not at the state and center both. There has to be ways and means found to see to it that every common man who is moving from one place to another, whether in the bus, whether in his private vehicle, whether in the train, whether in any public transport, has to be safe and very, very comfortable. Coastal road, cars are moving, vehicles are moving, and exactly opposite that, when I'm seeing women, men falling down from the local trains, you feel that there's something wrong somewhere in the system. So it has to be parallel with every form of travel. Everybody cannot afford metro. Yeah. They go by local trains. So for me, that person moving around in the local train is as important as that person moving on Atal Setu Bridge or at by any of the...
In fact, the number of fatal accidents that have happened because of people, because of overcrowding, falling off trains in 2024 has been more than 5,000. More than 5,000 people have died because of overcrowded trains, and they just couldn't hang on, and they fell and they died.
When you see visuals, when you enter a train, you're there, so you're not realizing. When you see visuals from top and from drone and all that, the kind of people on the platform, how do women are outside, half outside the train?
So what is the solution? Should you start covering the trains? I mean, the metro is covered, for example.
There are AC trains now. It's not a question of covering. What I'm trying to speed, there has to be some system at the top level, which should be thought correctly. Some stalwarts should sit and work out a system where, you know, this inhuman.
It's a system of open local trains, as much as a lifeline they are. Very few other cities in India or around the world have open local trains where people crowd like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that certainly needs to be addressed. We need to, you know, somehow find a way to close the open trains. But here I also want to add that there is a capacity and a certain amount of vertical growth that a city can do. Now, from a top leadership level, I think that there is some decision that you cannot look at Mumbai anymore in isolation. You have to look at it integrated with New Mumbai, where the new airport is coming up. You have to integrate it with Mumbai 3 that the Chief Minister is now building that will take you to the port. So I feel that better integration of MMR and the new expanding city infrastructure will take the load off some of these public transport facilities as offices, headquarters, etc. will start to diversify even in the MMR region. So
one of the things I think recently was suggested by the state government was having staggered office timings. Some offices open at 7 a.m., some offices open at 8, some offices open at 9. You think that would
I think with the Navi Mumbai airport and the way they're building the new Mumbai around that, I feel a lot of the corporate headquarters and offices will shift there, and that will take care of some sort of an exodus of the working population that is coming from MMR towards the city every day, and that will send them, you know, more towards the new Mumbai side. So I definitely think this will reduce the load on the transport infrastructure of the city for sure.
But, you know, on the question of private cars, and we've had this debate in Delhi, they tried, you know, odd even to tackle the pollution. Every major city around the world, New York, London, Singapore, there is some form of regulation of movement of private cars, particularly in city centers, either high parking rates or there is, you know, license plates are very expensive to get. It's only in Indian cities where the number of vehicles that are added to the road on every single day, it's huge. And, you know, frankly, I'm not blaming private car owners. It's because of the state of public transport that they're having to buy private cars. Today, if you ask the people in this room, if you have a choice between driving your own car and taking public transport, 9 out of 10 will say we will drive our own private car. So how does one regulate that?
You know, that's a very good point. And I'll say something, I love Mumbai, but I miss walking on the roads. Like, I've lived abroad for 10 years and came back, and that was the one feature I really missed. You have to have private cars if you want to survive, be alive in the city. That's how precarious things are. And the AQI levels, our PM levels are way, way more than what the even WHO guidelines are, despite the fact that we have the Arabian Sea, right? So it is something we have to look at. Our green spaces also. Mumbai has around 25% green spaces, but this is just vegetation. There aren't actual green sort of, public parks or access to that. Like Delhi has so much of that. So there is a lot of movement we'll have to even do with accessibility to public transport, affordability. We need 1:3 native replanting of, say, the RA colony, the mangroves that, sir, you had mentioned. There's so much work still to be done. Like in our part of town, like in South Bombay, there's only Mahalakshmi race course, There's no other green lung of the city, which I've not seen in any other city I've lived in. So I think these are small points that once we have greener spaces, once we have more public transport, this issue of private vehicles, like I see now every household that I know have at least 2 to 3 private vehicles. It's become like a status symbol that see how affluent I've become. I came from a middle class background, but now see how far I've come. So that mentality has to shift.
A solution to it is encouraging electric
vehicles. It's more electric, but I think it's still not seeped into the sort of masses, but it is slowly coming about.
One other thing which we don't talk about, Ashokji, is pollution. And, in Mumbai, it's almost like silent killer because it's not visible, unlike in Delhi where you can visibly tell how bad the AQI is. But apparently in 2024, more than half the year, more than 150 days, the AQI was above 150. This is a silent killer, and you wouldn't expect this in a city like Mumbai. 20 years ago, nobody talked about pollution in Mumbai. What do you think that is because of, and why aren't there enough conversations around this in the city?
See, priority-wise, there's so much of struggle and so much of
survival, as she said.
survival that this has taken a back little bit behind. But that is a problem. As I told you earlier, the pollution is going on upper level, which never used to be in Mumbai. There are major reasons is, as I told you earlier, transport, vehicles, it's all there. But one of the major reasons why I'm telling you is that we have been working day in and day out, all of us, that the way environment is being killed and murdered in this city. It's the way you see what's happening in Uttarakhand, there is no respect towards environment. In the name of development has to happen. But there has to be some limit somewhere. There has to be some thought which has to go in to see to it that this is more also very important for our life, You'll not believe, Zaka, I know if I go on, it will take the entire night. On what level are we struggling to save environment of all kinds? And the way, the way grounds have been taken over, the way documents have been changed overnight, the way open space where there were 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 trees, overnight they have been cut and we don't know what's happening and why it's happening. Then the reason is giving, भाई ये सब जगह होता है, development है. Development मतलब ये नहीं कि आप undevelopment करो इन चीजों काट कर. So if proper balance is struck, development and survival of environment, survival of birds, survival of trees, survival of water, lakes, entire Goregaon East, the entire mountains have gone in the name of development. Entire Andheri East, builders have taken over, entire mountains have gone. So suddenly we are all, on the plain grounds, and the nature which helps you with free of cost, which gives you air free of cost, the way it really takes care of you, you are killing it. So it has to come back to you. It gives back to you.
I think recently here in Parel only there was a high-rise society. All the residents came together and said BMC should stop, giving permissions for more high-rises in the area because there isn't enough, water and sewage collection properly and so on and so forth.
Yes.
I guess, if corporators are not attuned to it, if bureaucrats are not attuned to it, then we'll be living in this urban sprawling jungle which is not able to sustain life.
See, I also feel that we are, that there are many examples of large cities like Mumbai around the world that do deal with these challenges. There's a New York, there's a Shanghai, there's a Dubai. There are lots of examples where we can draw from. A lot of, a big contributor to the problem of pollution is all of these simultaneous development projects. But we must find inspiration from some of these other cities and how they've addressed and how they control pollution with simultaneous development. Here I want to add one more point, that we can sit here and all of us one by one can complain about the city all night. But when it comes to going to the polls and actually voting, now look at the issues that the politicians raise in the media. Language. Now I've lived in this city since I was born. We've been taught Marathi in school. It's a non-issue. We all know how to speak and understand and read Marathi. But why is this gaining such media popularity when the real issues are pollution, transport, citizen safety? So I feel like the citizens need to hold even politicians accountable that, hey, can you please raise the actual issues in the conversation and stop distracting us to non-issues like language? We can all speak and understand Marathi, and, that's like kind of the rule in our
I think
school.
they're using emotive issues to paper over the real deficiencies.
Even Bombay versus Mumbai. I got
They use issues which will get their street cadres moving, and these cadres get so agitated that then they delve into like physical violence, kisi ko chata maar diya, and those kinds of things. But these are not the real issues. The real issues are ease of life 24/7 for all of us citizens, and that's what we have to hold the political parties accountable.
But even the voters, the last assembly election which happened last year, in Mumbai city, the voter turnout was just about 50%. which means that half of the city either went off on the long weekend, they didn't bother to show up to vote, or were not interested in the democratic process, or maybe they didn't have, the requisite voter ID card or whatever it is. But the point is, you can't have a situation where half the city is not voting. I mean, so what about the responsibility of the average citizen also? Politicians will do what they do.
I absolutely agree. I think the political conscience of our city is unfortunately lacking. That's been my experience also. I think यहाँ पे सिर्फ धंधा चलता है. It's all about the Bombay Stock Exchange. It's all about the business you run. Unfortunately, that's just, again, the collective mentality of people. They'll talk about Bollywood and BSc, but they will not talk about, politics or politicians or how we can better improve our city. So I think the vocabulary of the city also has to change. It has to further develop. And I think we as citizens should also raise awareness about that. And you as journalists and media houses, raise the political, like when I come to Delhi, there's so much talk of politics and culture. When I come back to Mumbai, there's talk only of, how to make more money, how to improve your lifestyle. So I think we're in survival mode in a lot of ways, and therefore culture and politics have taken a back seat.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Meghna Pant, Priyam Gandhi Modi, and of course Ashok Pandit for joining us. Can we have a round of applause?
Thank you.
For very three passionate and three vocal Mumbaikars who have, I think, touched upon a range of issues. Hopefully these are the issues that the politicians will talk about when they come asking for your vote. So make sure you hold them accountable. Thank you for tuning in to this special session. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Meghna, Ashok, and Priyam and Zaka for moderating that session. A round of applause, please, for this last session here at CNN-News18 Mumbai Town Hall. That wraps up our evening of insights, of leadership lessons, and of bold ideas. I would like to thank our speakers, our moderators, and each one of you in the audience who has been a part of this engaging and enlightening evening. A special thanks once again to our partners who made this gathering possible. CNN-News18 Mumbai Town Hall is co-powered by Life Insurance Corporation. Special partners, Slum Rehabilitation Authority, Brihan Mumbai Government of Maharashtra, Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority, City and Industrial Development Corporation of Maharashtra Limited, Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation Limited, and Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority. I'd also like to thank our associate partners once again, Tata Capital and Reliance Industries Limited. Thank you all for joining us at CNN News 18 Mumbai Town Hall. Please do join us for dinner.